Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
All sorts of sports.
The NFL is here. Come on, guys.
Anyway.
I'd be happier if it wasn't for the fact that like I'm hot as balls in this fucking basement without any goddamn AC. Still kind of getting over my COVID thing.
Welcome back.
I am so
welcome
high.
back. Welcome
back. We didn't do a fucking
Look at my
episode.
eyes.
Y'all
Welcome
refused
back.
to do episodes without me.
I
Give me a break.
No.
I think that would qualify for a welcome back since we didn't do an episode. So
Welcome back. Welcome back.
No,
Welcome
fuck that. Y'all
back,
could shouldn't be no welcome back. Y'all should just fucking record it without me.
Welcome back to the world of the living, sir. Like, just leave it at that.
Dude,
You're back. You're healthy, and we're all happy for you.
I
Okay.
feel like I look disheveled and sweaty. I
All right,
feel like
cool.
I'm going through some shit.
No, you
hopefully
look the
your picks aren't
exact
like
same.
that.
You look the exact same as you
Alright,
used to,
cool.
man. Maybe
Cool.
yours
Hopefully
is
your picks
always-
aren't like that. So
Nah, I ain't got the Raiders winning anything.
You got
okay, cool.
Yeah, you look like a
That makes one of us.
cheesy breadstick.
I look like a what?
A cheesy breadstick.
Where did that come from?
That was more hurtful than the other shit. I don't even know what that means.
Aww.
Yo, we not gonna make this shit about
Cheesy
our
breadstick?
feelings.
My eyes are watering. What does that mean?
Cheesy breadsticks are good.
They're amazing.
Exactly. So why are you sad?
Dunk
Yeah.
you in some garlic sauce.
Like you never looked at a cheesy breadstick and be like, "Oh, this is so unattractive to me." Like you never said that.
That's true.
Wait, why are you saying that to KDot?
You want to eat me up? Keem, is that what's happening? My scrumdiddlyumptious?
Nope. No, you're not.
Did you see the twist? And now,
All right.
all right.
Hey, James, your favorite bet?
Yeah.
All right, so AFC
That's
East.
not my favorite bit. And don't do that shit again. All right. So look, what division do you guys want to start with?
AFC East. No.
All
Which division none of us have a team in? AFC South. Let's start with that piece of shit.
Okay. All right. AFC South. All right. So I'll go ahead and say the order that I have this division finishing in. And then if you guys got any issues, you can bring it up. And then we'll go to the next person.
Issue.
Ryan Tannehill for MVP.
Cool. So I have the
Or issues.
Jaguars finishing first,
Who?
then the Titans, then the Colts, and then last the Texans.
We have the same order.
Okay.
We have the same order. Are you gonna do your records or do you?
Yeah, I got the records too.
I don't want to do my records.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to do records.
I
but
went
I'm
a
playing
little
mine.
crazy. I went a little crazy on one. Like when I look back just now, because I did it when I was somewhat drunk yesterday. So yeah, it was for some reason I had the Niners going 16-1. I just saw them and just picked them. That's crazy.
Dude, that is why I hate that thing, because you don't know how they're obviously going to lose games. But like when I was like doing just pure who should win this game based on what I know about the team, some of my records, I was like, this is not possible.
I got the Lions going 12-5. Like what the fuck?
How about you wait until we get to that fucking division?
I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to talk about that.
I think unless you go
All right.
back and check your progress in the sense of where your records are for the teams as you're going through, it's really, really easy to get to lose track of
Yeah, that's
who's
true.
doing what.
But you can do that in the
No, I was doing that.
Yeah. So all right, so me and Keem have the same thing.
I have the exact
All right.
same order.
Yeah, it's
All
the
right.
exact same thing. I don't know anybody that can
Okay.
have anything different in that division at this point, right? Because I mean, like, right now, to me, the most talented team in the division by far is Jacksonville. You look at the record compared to everybody else in the fucking division. I think they actually have a chance at looking at the number one seed in the AFC, honestly, just because of the fucking schedule. If you look at the rest of the division, what do you think? Tennessee, they add DeAndre Hopkins. They have Derrick Henry. We know a Mike Vrabel team's always going to fucking play hard. I don't feel great about the team, but I could still say I feel better about them than the other two teams in that division, right?
So all right. So since we all have the same order for this, right? What's the records you guys have for them?
Well, we don't have to do records necessarily. I'll give you
No,
mine.
just
I don't
just for
mind.
this one. Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
only
was
saying
just
for
gonna
this
say,
time.
though. I was just gonna say though, like I only have one team coming out of the division, that being the Jaguars for the playoffs.
Same.
Like, I think the Titans, this is their fall off. We're done year. Like, this is the we need to, like, this is the mid-season. Malik Willis comes in because Ryan Tannehill isn't getting it done, and it's not. I don't think they have enough talent right now. I think the talent that they do have is older. I think Derrick Henry has to fall off a cliff at some point. He's been, a monster, and injuries and stuff start to pile up. But I got like Jaguars 11-6, maybe 12-5 to KDot's point. Trevor Lawrence is one of my potential MVP candidates. I won't say who is my MVP winner yet, but he's one of those guys who I feel like, because of their weak ass division, he could just kind of eat, and the schedule's not tough. I think Trevor is going to get more help this year with Calvin Ridley. And I think that'll bode better for Christian Kirk. They added Tank Bigsby behind Travis Etienne. They have the depth offensively. I really like them. Defense, I think, will get better. And I think Trevor will
they're gonna have to put up points. They're gonna have to put up points.
Yeah, they're gonna have to put up points, and that's why I say he's my like an MVP candidate, because they have the schedule in the weak ass division to get him enough to like put up those numbers and win.
Can we all agree that the Colts and the Texans combined do not have 10 wins this year?
No, so I got Titans. I have the Titans and the Colts with the same record, which is 6-11.
6, okay.
And I have.
You're saying the Texans are going to win more than 4?
I gave them 4 games. No, I gave them 4.
That's 10. Okay, that's 10 wins. All right.
I gave them 4 even. 4-13.
We got.
Okay, so we're pretty much the same here.
It depends who's starting, because Davis Mills and his draft neck could put up 5 wins.
I think CJ's starting. CJ's
So?
CJ's definitely starting.
I believe in DeMeco Ryans. I believe in DeMeco Ryans. I think he'll do wonders with that defense. I think they're still too young right now, but Will Anderson, I think is going to be great. And I think he'll lift. I think 4 wins is good in this type of season. I think 4 wins is good.
And oh my God, next year draft time is going to be crazy, because you know who got the Texans pick. Whew.
Who got it?
I think the
Cardinals.
Texans are bad.
Oh yeah,
the Cardinals got the first. Go ahead, get out.
Even in believing in DeMeco Ryans, it's just the Texans are devoid of most talent. The Texans are just bad. They're still rebuilding post Jesus and Bill O'Brien. And then you got the Colts and the Titans. Those are 2 teams I got finishing below 500. Don't know where or how below 500 that is. But you got a Titans team that's got to figure out the quarterback position overall, right? You got 3 guys. You have Ryan Tannehill, who was the guy that you drafted a replacement in Malik Willis. That's supposed to be the project last year. But then you draft Will Levis higher than you drafted Malik Willis. And you have all 3 of these guys on your roster. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yes, one of those 3 guys is going to be the guy that kind of takes it. Apparently, from everybody that I'm hearing, Will Levis is probably the best of the 3. As far
that's
as
not what I heard. Malik Willis took over the QB2 spot.
I get it. I'm saying that majority of training camp, what I was hearing was the Will Levis looked better than everybody as far as from a complete standpoint. What I hear was Malik Willis still has the most raw talent of any of the 3, and he had the biggest strides from last year to this year, which was huge because he looked god awful last year. But it was the thing was he was supposed to be the long-term project, the Trey Lance before you give up on him too soon. We'll get to that. And the thing with Indianapolis is that they, to me, have the rookie quarterback that I think is most.
And they have Shane Steichen.
I think Anthony Richardson has the ability, when we get into the awards categories, offensive rookie of the year to a certain degree, just because of what it is that I think they're going to be able to do in that offense. If you got Shane Steichen, who just came from Philadelphia, what we saw he did with Jalen Hurts as far as the rushing attack and what he was doing at quarterback. I like Michael Pittman. I like Alec Pierce. I think those guys, while I don't think they're studs, I do think they have talent. They just haven't had any quarterbacks.
Michael Pittman is a stud.
I'm not saying either one of them are studs yet.
No, he is though. I'm letting you know.
Okay, that's
I'm letting you know.
Fair enough. I'm not.
I know who I'm going to block Keem from drafting.
To To me, they're lesser Terry McLaurin. And the thing is, the reason I say the Terry McLaurin thing is because like Terry McLaurin,
we're not even there yet. All right, James.
Like Terry McLaurin, they haven't had a quarterback that can get them the fucking football. So like that's me. I don't know for sure where it is they are. But Anthony Richardson, what he'll be able to do on the ground, to me, is what makes them a very interesting team.
5 wins.
All right. All right.
Hello, sweetheart.
This division will be the butthole of the divisions.
Yeah, essentially. All right. So since we did the AFC South, let's do the NFC South.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'll
I'll start.
Okay.
I'm a rep for Atlanta. I got Atlanta winning that division. Similar to the AFC South, I think there's only one team coming out of this division in terms of playoffs. I think the Saints are going to be on the cusp, but I don't think they'll make it. But Falcons, I got at 10-7, 11-6, somewhere in there. I love Arthur Smith. They have an amazing O-line. I don't know if the quarterback is good enough, but they have Bijan, Pitts, and London. They have enough weapons around him to kind of help him. We'll see if the jury's still out, but we'll see if he's good enough as a quarterback. But I think that O-line is going to do wonders. Just play action and play action pass is going to be deadly. It's like
Bijan's going to be the entirety of that offense.
Running the ball, then play action to get the ball to Pitts or London. It's that simple. And stop it. That's what it's going to be. Their strength is their O-line. I think Arthur Smith is a good coach. Saints, I said 89. I think they'll be up and down. Derek Carr has been an upgrade from last year. Kamar's missing 3 games. I think their defense is going to be really good to start the season, especially. Tampa Bay, they just lost Ryan Jensen, their center. I like Baker in that offense with Dave Canales. I think that's how you say his last name. I could be wrong. But I like Baker in that offense with him. He's going to put Baker in a box, similar to what I expect. I expect to happen to Russell Wilson, but he's going to keep Baker hey, we're running the ball. We'll get you some play action pass, get you out on the bootleg, let you hit some spots and stuff. But the Bucs just don't have the talent. I think they'll be fun to watch offensively because I think that offense will be decent. With Godwin, Mike Evans is a guy. He doesn't get enough respect. He's always had 1,000 yards for 9 straight seasons. Love him. Love him so much.
Every year in the bigs.
Yeah, I think the Panthers will be an improving team, but not that improving. I got them at 3 wins. I love the talent that I love the coaching staff that they've put in there. And so I think next year the Panthers could be a fringe playoff team or a playoff team, but this year I think they're still a little bit too young. I expect Bryce to struggle a little bit. He's still a rookie quarterback and he's small. But that's where I kind of have that division.
I got the Saints leading the division after Derek Carr gets benched week 4 for James Winston.
Oh, okay. That's bold. That's bold.
Look, they're coming off of Andy Dalton season. They need good quarterback play. They have the squad to be to win that division, but I don't think they're going to be messing around. And Jameis was threading passes in the preseason. I don't know how that man does not have a starting job. The Falcons, Bijan Robinson is going to, I think going forward a little bit.
Did you just
fantasy is Bijan Robinson is going to have
I know
the best fantasy football season. If he stays healthy, he's going to run and catch the ball more than I think maybe any other player has ever done because he is their only outlet. They have 1 receiver and 1 tight end, and they are going to run Bijan Robinson into the ground this year. So probably draft that guy.
They got Algier too. So
Algier had a hell of a season last year, and they got
Cordell Patterson is still on the team.
I am telling you,
that's why they are multiple. They have so much that they can throw at you. It's just that Desmond Ritter isn't.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's
not good.
Oh, sorry. I'll wait.
And then Baker Mayfield, I feel like their defense is still pretty solid in Tampa, but they could get to 9 wins, but they'll probably get 4. And then the Panthers are just, I don't know what Bryce Young is yet. Bryce Young is super talented, but he's my size. So they'll probably need another season, even with the Frank Reich, who is my favorite name in football.
All right, KDot, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah, that was funny. I'm sorry.
All right.
Did you hear this comment?
All right, I'll go. All right. So I got the Saints finishing first.
He was
with 12 wins.
anti-Semitic to himself. It was great.
I got the Saints finishing first at 12-5. Then I got the Falcons. I think I had the
12 wins.
I should have saw that coming. They have Derek Carr. You shouldn't have. If any team with Derek Carr is going to finish with 12 wins, if James picked him.
Right.
Any team. I'm telling you, they're going to finish 12 wins. You put him on the Chases right now, James going to be like 12 wins. 12 wins.
No. It's not because of Carr. It's just because of the team around him.
Gruden?
No, it's because of the team around him.
Anthony Davis, second best player in the league.
He's there too.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So if I said anything, if I said that the Saints are going to be ass, it's because Derek Carr's there now. Of course he's going to be saying he's not ass.
It's just funny because you're wearing the hat, too.
All right. I was wearing this fucking hat.
I know.
Shut the fuck up. All right. Saints at 12-5. Then I got the Falcons at 6-11.
Okay.
Then I have the Bucks at 5-12. And then the Panthers at 4-13.
That's
you disrespected Arthur. You disrespected Arthur and the boys.
Yes, they deserve it.
I'm not really
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, really. For real.
At the end of the day,
do we give a shit about disrespecting Arthur Smith?
Look. At the end of the day, if they put that shit on the bulletin board in their locker room, cool.
They can. Hey, James said we go.
This motherfucker James said.
ASOS pocket,
bro. The Saints and the Falcons both finished 7-10 last year, and the most improved between the two teams is the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Saints don't have Andy Dalton this year.
They
had Marcus Mariota throwing passes last year. And he not throwing passes this year. That's all I'm saying.
They also had Ritter.
Yeah,
he came in late. Yeah, and he started.
But
they improved.
But the other part of it is I need to and it's bad on my part. I definitely need to look at film of Drake London more, because from what I saw at the pre-draft, I never was a fan.
He's a guy.
The route running was the routes that I saw were bad, and I'm like, that can't be true because everybody likes him. So I need to do better myself.
Maybe he knew that
he's not Olave to keep it in the division. He's not Olave, but he's a guy. I think Olave is gonna have a monster season this year.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I got the Saints at 8-9. They could make the playoffs for sure. But I just like the Falcons more.
I like the Saints defense more than the Falcons defense.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And then I also like
that's fair.
I also like the Saints.
They can swap for sure. I just don't see. I don't see anybody in that division winning 12 games. That's anybody in that division. It's not that good. You know what I'm saying? It's
it helps when you go 6-0 in the division.
Their cap is 10, but you won't, and that's the thing.
That's what they're gonna do.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, do you see the Saints losing to the Panthers or the fucking Bucks?
Yes, one game.
Bucks. I had them splitting with the Bucks.
The Bucks are gonna go back to them creamsicle jerseys, and they're gonna play like how they did back then. Ass.
Don't
ass.
Don't disrespect.
Two great receivers, but guess what? They're depending on the QB to give them the ball.
Don't disrespect Baker like that.
Huh?
Baker Mayfield is still.
You said worse about Baker than me.
Yeah, you guys all had said a lot of bad things about Baker.
He can kind of get disrespected.
Baker is.
I like Baker. I've always liked Baker, but you guys really
a cool dude. But no, we're separating the person from the actual play of the position.
He is.
come on now.
He is in a the coaching scheme and the way that offense is set up works very well for Baker Mayfield.
For sure.
They're going to be them and Carolina is going to be competing for the worst record in that division. And
they did
discount that, but Baker can definitely pull one out on you.
No, he's going to pull out 5 because that's how many games they're winning. 5.
Yeah, and they're probably all going to be.
And one of them's going to be against the division rival.
Not the Saints.
And I think they also play. Don't they play the Texans? Like it's going to be tough, right?
That's another one of those 5. There we go.
So
you just
come on.
Can I do mine? Or
yeah, go ahead.
My turn. Sure. I've got the Saints winning this division, but I think it's I also think this is the hardest division to call, in my opinion, in the sense of I don't love any of these teams. That being said, there's so many questions as to what these guys are going to be or what these offenses are anything going to look like. What does Derek Carr look like with Chris Olave and Michael Thomas, who's supposed to be healthy and puts up great numbers when he is healthy, even though he has the most boring fucking name in all of football.
Michael Thomas.
Alvin Kamara with the suspension. He didn't look great last year. And if you take away, I know from a fantasy standpoint, he had like a 40-something point game. And if you take that away, it was very, very pedestrian last year. But
Andy Dalton.
But that's the thing, is that I do believe that Derek Carr is a significant upgrade over the Taysom Hill, was it Trevor Siemian and Andy Dalton experiment that they had running there. So I
in there too. Good Lord.
Yeah, there was a third guy. It might have been that. Might not have been.
I think it's pronounced Seaman.
No.
Seaman.
No.
Okay. Beyond the Saints, and the reason the Saints number 1 is I think what James was saying, they were 5th in defense last year, and if you look at their teams that they have to face, Ryan Tannehill, Bryce Young, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence. Okay, that's a guy. Richardson, Fields, Cousins. That's the top. That's the first 10 games. He's about the top 5 defense. Like that to me is what I don't know how great Derek Carr is going to be, but like I look at that and I'm like, that defense alone should be able to keep them in a lot of games. That even if you have an offense that should be fairly explosive with a Carr to Olave connection, I don't know, but I think the number 2 in that division is Atlanta. And while I don't care about whether or not I'm disrespecting Arthur Smith, what I will say is that I look at Atlanta and say that on offense they got a lot of studs. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Algier, all those guys are great. What I don't necessarily have faith in is they know what the fuck they are offensively. I think that this is one of those years where maybe halfway into the season, they're still trying to figure out what it is the fuck that they're doing. I have an opinion that I don't think Atlanta is going to be winning games until Taylor Heineke gets off that fucking bench and starts leading them to fucking victories, because I don't think Desmond Ridder is going to be the dude to do it. What the fuck are you making the face for?
That is the most.
Because you said you don't know what the fuck they be. This is Arthur Smith from the Titans. You get a mid-tier quarterback. You got a good running back. They have 2 good running backs. They're going to run the ball and do play action. That's what they do.
Got it.
One of the best things about them and the Lions last year is that they throw different shit at you. They can do a lot of different shit, and they tailor it towards who they have. So I think they know what they're going to be. It's just, are they going to, if you're saying we don't know if it's going to be good, that's
my point.
But
that's my point.
We know what they're going to be.
Well, that's the point. Is that they can be whatever it is they want to be, right? But here's what we also know: Kyle Pitts' last season hugely disappointing. Even if he,
why was it disappointing? Why was it disappointing?
Probably because they have Marcus Mariota throwing the fucking football. Desmond Ridder to me is not a huge upgrade. Even when he was playing last year, I did not see significant improvements over what the fuck Marcus Mariota was doing.
Did you see an improvement in the win column when he came here?
I don't fucking remember. I don't even fucking remember.
There was an improvement in the win column.
You did.
Cool.
There was.
Are you an Atlanta fan?
No.
You sound very James and Raider like when it comes to fucking Falcons.
We have a podcast where we talk about football.
No, I get it. I've never seen you get this defensive over fucking Arthur Smith.
Don't throw shots at me.
I'm not getting defensive. I'm just saying
he wants all the curses. Not me.
Not me. No, it's just look, at the end of the day, regardless of what, if you think that so Bijan Robinson, the rookie running back, and another year under Desmond Ridder is enough to say that these guys are winning the division, okay, I don't buy it. I'm saying that these guys could be necessarily in the conversation, but to me, if I'm looking at the Saints, I'm looking at the Saints defensively and the players and the guys they have to play against. That's the only reason I'm putting the Saints up top. I do think that it's a battle between two teams at the top, two teams at the bottom in this division. As far as Atlanta, whenever they figure out the quarterback position overall, I didn't love Ritter from what I saw on tape and even watching the fucking NFL quarterback shit and all that kind of stuff. Beyond that, the other two teams, as far as Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, I have no idea what they're going to look like. No idea.
I love that we're spending this much time on the NFC.
The Miles Sanders being their number one running back.
Now,
I
forgot he was there.
Don't know. I don't know what the Carolina Panthers, but then they also lose DJ Moore to Chicago, right? So like, I don't know what the Panthers are at all. I have no idea. And then outside of that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I like Baker Mayfield. He's looked good in certain portions of preseason, but I also saw Baker Mayfield not look fucking good last year. And I saw a team with Tom Brady who, once again, statue or whatever, can't really move around. He kept them in some games. I don't know what Rachaad White's supposed to be. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are damn good talent. There's at some point where Mike Evans, I gotta say, you're getting old, right? Like there's supposed to be a sort of a drop off, but he's been solid and extremely underrated. The East Coast Keenan Allen, in the sense of guys that just everybody just kind of overlooks, even though they're consistent as fuck. But as far as the delivery system to get to them, I don't know. I like Baker. I'm not putting any money on him.
Right. Would you be willing to put any money on the Saints versus the Falcons?
No, I'm not.
No, because if they go to Taylor Heineke week 2, it's a whole different thing.
Just who finishes with a better record? I'm willing to bet on the Falcons.
All right, but what's the over? If Taylor Heineke starts more than 5 games,
I don't care. No, I don't care I don't care the
Stop.
result, how it gets there. All I'm saying is more wins. The Falcons will have more wins than the Saints. That's all I'm saying. If you we've had some bets before. This might be one you can win.
No, stop.
Because I don't know
baiting him.
I'm not baiting. He's not baiting or whatever. I just don't know how many games Taylor Heineke started.
He's a master baiter.
Look, when Heineke first did the signing, I said on this podcast that Atlanta was my playoff pick. Right as of right now, I only got one team making it out of this playoff.
Delusional.
I got one team making it out of this fucking division.
He's doing the James thing?
Yeah, he's Jamesing right now.
100%.
Right now.
He's going to get him. He's the one.
Fuck.
Yes. I'm not hiding that. I believe in Heineke. And I believe in Heineke in Atlanta. I can be delusional all if I want to. Suck my dick collectively. Be delusional on that shit. Look, at the end of the day, if I had to put any money on anybody, it's going to be the Saints. I still think the Saints. I can be delusional as I want to be, but I'm still picking the fucking Saints to win the division and be the only team.
Jameis Winston.
So
let's move on.
Both of you. You just take one side each. Just lick it. You do right side, the left side. You want to get under the taint? You whatever.
NFC North. NFC North.
You can lick both sides and the taint at the same
NFC
time.
North. I'm gonna go first. I have the Lions finishing first.
Yes, I think.
I actually had the Lions going 12-5 for somehow.
NFC North. Okay.
Yeah, NFC North. Then I got the Bears at 8-9.
The Bears.
Right below them, I got the Vikings, which sounds crazy, but
no, it doesn't.
And then fourth, of course, is the Packers. Packers are.
I wouldn't say, of course, but so this is where I disagree with KDot. This is the toughest division for me to pick.
Same.
Because, hold on. Hold on, give me 1 second. There we go.
Wait. No,
I'm still here?
There you go.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So basically, it's the Vikings benefited immensely from a lot of one-score wins last year. We talk about this. I talk about this all the time.
Here we go.
It's a thing. The one score, it always swings. One score losses is a thing that swings. You can check it. It's a stat, bro.
I just hate it.
What was that one implosion that they had where they were up by like 20 at halftime and fucking
they
lost?
were down by like 24 in one game, right? Was it the one against the Colts?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 24. But anyway, they had a lot of one-score victories, a lot of luck-adjusted wins. But for the Vikings, there's just a lot of variance there because they also improved their defense in the offseason. They lost Dalvin Cook. They couldn't run the ball as well last year, which is why they're willing to let him go. But that was more of an offensive line issue. They brought in some help for that. And they're hoping to kind of tweak their offense in terms of being able to run the ball better and more effectively. But I don't know how much faith I have in Alexander Madison. I have the Vikings at 11-6. I think their luck will drop some, but I also think they've made improvements on defense and offense, and they added Brian Flores. So I think that's a huge improvement as well. But the Bears, I think, are good as well. I got them at 9-8. I think they'll improve. I love Fields. I love what DJ Moore will do for Fields. Their defense still needs work, and their offensive line needs to stay healthy. That's the thing for the Bears. The Bears could drop down to like 7-10 or something like that because their offensive line has issues and they just haven't been able to stay healthy. They got 2 like offensive linemen that are injured right now. But I just really like that offense. The Packers, I think, are being severely disrespected and just kind of underappreciated. I got him at 9-8 too because Jordan Love is good.
He's solid. He is better than people think he's going to be.
He is an average quarterback. They have a great offensive line. They're going to run the ball. They got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And they got two good receivers in Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. I like the tight ends that they added in the draft. I think they're a good offensive team. Defense they just need to be healthy. And they've been inconsistent. Last year they were just a bit of an inconsistent defense. They started kind of good, then fell off late. And I think, and it's been just listening to beat writers talk about them, they've been inconsistent defensively for the last couple of years where they'll either start good and then fall off late or start well and then fall off or fall off early and then kind of start late. And so it just kind of depends on how good that defense is. But I think Jordan Love will be good. I think they'll be fine. I think the Lions are getting a lot of fucking hype and I got them finishing 7-10. I don't know if Dan Campbell is a good coach. I know the Packers have a good coach.
I know
the Vikings have a good coach. I don't know if Dan Campbell is a good coach. I know he's a good motivator. I don't know if he's a good coach. And he's the same as another coach in a different division that I can't wait to talk about when it comes to the AFC West. I really can't wait to talk about him. But I won't just yet. But anyway, I don't know if Dan is a good coach. We're going to see because they have the talent, but also they have Jared Goff. They have Detroit Kirk Cousins, and Detroit Kirk Cousins is up and down year to year. Last year, he's good. He's good. This year, let's see.
They don't have Jameson Williams for 6 games.
They don't have Jameson Williams. I love the Sun God, though. Love the Sun God. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. They have offensive talent. Talent. But
he can't even be in the facility for 6 weeks, which is gonna be tough.
We'll see. I think they're overrated. Overhyped. Not overrated. Overhyped.
I think in this division, the Packers are underrated. I think they have a better team than people are gonna play Green Bay first couple weeks of the season, expecting them to be a 4-13 team, and I think they're gonna get punched in the face.
Yep.
The Vikings could either be the best team in the division or be battling for last place.
Yes.
The Lions are either going to come out gangbusters and make it until Jameson Williams comes back, and Dan Campbell's going to be putting an entire can of dip in his lip on the sidelines every single game, and they're going to fucking run through a brick wall for him, or they're going to win 6 games, which is why this is so hard to predict. Chicago Bears goes, Justin Fields goes. Justin Fields stays healthy, and he's got 100-yard rushing games, and his weapons stay healthy. They could easily win the division. If Justin Fields goes down or their offensive line gets hurt, they could also be in last place in this division, which is why it is so hard, because this is one of the only divisions where it hangs on a couple things. The teams are good, but they're good because of a couple, 1 or 2 or 3 reasons, not because the whole team is great. And that for me, I would just go 9-8 for all these teams because I have no fucking clue. Right. I honestly think a healthy, solid Bears teams wins this division if they stay healthy all year, just because of the weapons they have. And I know who Justin Fields is, and I know that he is when he is on, he is almost untouchable. He's gonna if he's healthy and the offensive line is healthy, he has multiple 100-yard rushing games this season, and that's a serious game changer. But again, I have the Bears, the Lions, and the Lions and the Vikings are the same record, and then but I have the Packers right below them. So this is the hardest division for me to pick. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I can see it flipping, swapping out. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun though. These are gonna be the games I fucking tune into now that I have YouTube, TV, NFL. Fuck you, fucking idiots.
I like YouTube.
I mean, but it's so stupid. I hated it more when I couldn't get direct because you had to have direct TV to get the fucking Sunday ticket. So I was just stealing it, which was fine. But just let me get it on my TV. I don't want YouTube. Fuck you. Anyway,
only thing that's going to bother me about the YouTube TV is that now that everybody's going to have DraftKings or FanDuel up, the streaming delay when it comes to betting and shit is it's awkward as fuck. I don't love it. It's not great.
MLB
like talking to people on the phone, like everybody's at a different point.
MLB did that at the beginning of the season for MLB TV. Yeah. And then so many people complained that they put it back to the 5-second delay instead of, I think it was 15. It's like I was getting notifications on my phone for home runs and the guy wasn't even up to bat. I was like, go fuck yourself.
Like, no, last year, sometimes when you guys would send like text, I would have to like put the phone down because I'm like 5 seconds behind.
Oh,
like I can't.
I put my shit. Well, I don't have my watch on, but I would put my shit on not airplane.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb, so that I wouldn't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, I got FanDuel and everything up the entire time, so I'm already knowing what happens.
I place my bets and fuck off. Like,
NFC North
bets later.
NFC North. I understand the concept. I wouldn't disagree completely as far as what you guys have said of this being the toughest division to call. I understand the sentiment. I think the NFC South to me is the toughest one to call, just because I think the variables of any one of these teams being like a playoff contender could do potentially being the worst team in like all the NFL is really up in the air for anybody in the NFC South, in my opinion, honestly. But the NFC North to me, I still got Detroit winning this thing. And the reason I got Detroit winning this thing is I do believe in this offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been he's been doing great things up there. And I think that it's even been kind of overlooked because it's still Detroit. So I do understand that they've been sort of had this hype train the last like 3 years, ever since Hard Knocks, and Dan Campbell being the dude that like is a lightning rod for people to want to, he's a tough, grit guy. It's a team that's easy to root for. Maybe a little less easy to root for than that Jamal Williams isn't on the team because he was fucking dope to root for. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. They finally got rid of DeAndre Swift, who they've been trying to murder or something for how many fucking years at this point. Like, I just think this team just offensively is going to be really, really good. And I think this division is going to be one of those divisions that are going to rely on offense to make things happen across the board. And if I just had to pick any one of the offenses, I'm going to pick Detroit just because they've got a proven track record, even though I understand the Minnesota Vikings, who I'm going to talk about third. The Green Bay Packers I have finished in second. I think the Jordan Love thing, Jordan Love played one game last season. He did like 67%, not 200 yards, a touchdown, no picks. I think when it comes to the Packers, to me, is
that sounds like an Aaron Rodgers half.
Well, the thing is, they had an Aaron. It sounds like an Aaron Rodgers half, right? But they had Aaron Rodgers for all of that season, and they still finished below 500. The offensive line there for Green Bay last year, they had David Bakhtiari was out for a good portion of time. He's old as fuck. I don't even know what his prospects or the offensive line prospects are looking like right now. Defensively, they always felt kind of disappointing. Jared Alexander is supposed to be one of the top 3 guys as far as a cornerback in the league. And overall, that defense has just failed to get things done.
Because they were taking ayahuasca and shit.
Maybe. The wide receiving core of Green Bay to me is a huge question mark. I mean, Christian Watson has looked good at times. Romeo Doubs, I'm wondering what that looks like. I just don't know. And to me, if the Green Bay's recipe for success is hand the ball to fucking Aaron Jones and let the thing happen, right? But then it almost feels as though LaFleur might be one of those like Cowboys when they had Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard sort of situations. I'm just not sure if they're going to do what they need to do. And there might not be a least. I think the Green Bay Packers have the only one guy on their roster quarterback wise has ever played an NFL game, and it's Jordan Love in that one game. So they're going to sink or swim with Jordan Love. I don't think Jordan Love's going to suck, but I just don't know what he is yet.
Can I just speak to one thing you said real quick?
Yeah.
So I was listening to the Athletic Football Show, and they had the Packers beat writer on to talk about, like, you know, training camp and like how it's kind of different without Aaron and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things he said, which is why I believe in the Packers, he didn't say it was for sure a thing that happened, but he was like, the difference between this team and that team is that this team, if you call a run, your quarterback might not audible out of it because
100%.
he's Aaron Rodgers and 100%. He wants to throw the ball. And that's where I'm like, okay, I can see them. So, like, with your point, that's where I'm like,
I'll go further. I'm sure the beat reporter had to have also mentioned the fact that Aaron Rodgers doesn't trust wide receivers that are young. So he wasn't even giving them opportunities, right? There are times that he wouldn't even make the throw or look for fucking Randall Cobb in the slot instead of taking the shot. So Jordan Love's going to take more shots with these guys and give them opportunities. And like I said, Christian Watson has looked good. I just don't know. Too much to me is being held on Jordan Love's head, and I don't know. I just don't know. So
he's got the best autograph in all of football.
Before we move on,
a J and a heart.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I want to say one last thing. The Jets, right, got Aaron Rodgers, and now everybody's like, all right, like, it's time to do something. You got the guy. So how do we feel about the team that lost that guy?
Well,
he wasn't the guy last year. He wasn't the guy last year.
That's the question when we get to the Jets. We'll get to the Jets. The question is, what is Aaron Rodgers now? Because Aaron Rodgers last year in Green Bay, look, I'd still take him over a lot of fucking guys. Just the talent in the toolbox.
Over Jordan Love too, right?
Yeah, I would have taken him over Jordan Love. But the thing with Aaron is that when it comes to what plays are you checking out of because you just don't believe in it, and how many times are you not giving wide receivers opportunities? It's going to be a lot of what you see in New York, which is why they have a huge question mark, because they got a lot of young wide receivers. And Aaron does not trust motherfuckers if you don't have a proven track record with you. But before we get into the Aaron Rodgers thing and all that shit, other teams in the division, I love Justin Fields, and I love Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings are clearly more talented offensively. The only thing is that Alexander Madison, if you look at his rushing stats, were bad. Like, if they're bad when you're considering or looking at him compared to Dalvin Cook. The only thing that I look at offensively for Minnesota that is interesting to me is that I think Jordan Addison is a huge upgrade over Thielen. But I also think what that means for Minnesota is they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. And if you're throwing the ball a lot, then you're going to live and die with Kirk Cousins doing potentially some dumb shit every once in a while. I think that they're going to turn the ball over, and I don't think they have a defense that can bail them out just yet. They have talented guys on the defense, guys, but I just don't think they've put it all together and can be that. And Chicago, to me, is just Justin Fields is going to get better this year. He's the quarterback in that draft I believed in more than anybody else. DJ Moore is a guy. Justin Fields was my.
You believed him in more than Trevor?
Yeah. I was more of a Fields guy than Trevor. It was Trevor's hair threw me off.
Sunshine, no, I was Sunshine. I just to James's point real quick about the Aaron Rodgers thing. Would you over Jordan Love? Here's the thing about that. I wouldn't take that version of Aaron Rodgers that we got, the one who doesn't like rookies, and over this version of Jordan Love. And that speaks to that's why I think they'll be better, because they'll be better coached because Aaron won't be in the way.
That's fair.
Right. I disagree with that somewhat, just based on the fact that it's not that he doesn't like young receivers. It's more so if he can't trust you, which is what the other receivers that have been with him for a while, he's not going to throw you the ball, right?
Question real quick. Yeah, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you can't trust them, is it their fault or your fault?
False parallels.
I think that depends.
It does depend. It
really depends. To me, the thing is that, like, you cannot develop trust with someone in football unless you give them opportunities.
Yeah, and that's what happens in practice. You get the opportunities in practice. If you run the wrong fucking route every fucking time, you don't have the right steps in your breaks, And if you're doing shit differently every time, then it's a problem.
But you know that I've talked about this ad nauseum when it comes to Aaron, is that it's not a matter of, there's a difference between Tom Brady looking at a rookie wide receiver and being like, hey, you ran the wrong fucking route. We need to talk about this shit. Let's spend some time together to do it. Compared to the guy who's passive aggressive as shit. This is all this motherfucker. What the fuck is he doing? We even see it. Look, Aaron Rodgers has become one of the most likable guys in the NFL when it comes to Hard Knocks. And I still tell you, he's letting it slip in Hard Knocks. You can see it in these Hard Knocks episodes. When these motherfuckers can we get this fucking thing right? And he's constantly talking to himself or one or two guys, and you can see the other guys kind of looking, is Aaron got something to say about me? Because he won't address you directly. And that is an issue.
He's weak leadership-wise.
Look, I've gotten in trouble.
I'm not saying
my Aaron Rodgers takes.
Look, listen, I don't know this guy, so cool. Whatever you say, cool. At the end of the day, he's a better QB than Jordan Love. So by saying like, oh yeah, the Packers gonna be better because they don't have Rodgers, sounds crazy to me.
Okay, well, we'll see.
But yeah, I know. At the end of the day, like no matter what we say, we're just gonna have to let it play out. Because
let me ask you this:
you know, you could be 100% right, and then I gotta come on and say, "Hey, you was right."
James, I just want to ask you. So, like, the Dallas Cowboys is the one that I do the closest resemblance to, in the sense of how many times did the Dallas Cowboys be in a situation where they're throwing the ball 50 times a game, where if they just use Tony Pollard and rush the goddamn football, they'd be in a much better position as far as the team goes, right? When Aaron Rodgers is there, they feel that they need to throw the football. When they have an Aaron Jones and an A.J. Dillon, who's, in my opinion, the most underrated running back committee or duo in the NFL. Aaron Jones's numbers are fucking solid. They just don't give him the rock enough.
You know why?
Why?
Because Aaron Rodgers is there.
No shit. So what I'm saying is
changing
that's his point.
But my point is, with Aaron gone, if Aaron's gone, then they have a much more balanced attack and a more balanced approach on offense.
All right. Do you think Jordan Love is going to beat teams through the air?
Yeah.
No, but I don't think he has to if they have a good running.
That's the point. Okay. That's the point.
Right. Look, we'll see. We'll see.
It's addition by subtraction. It's addition by subtraction.
But that's the question. That's the question mark of the NFC North. That's why Ryan and Keem, when you guys said it was a tough debate, I get that. I totally understand that. I wouldn't argue it too hard. But they're going to be, I think, here's what I think this is going to be one of the most fun divisions to watch football games. So.
For sure. That's, And see, to your point, with the NFC South parallel, I agree with what you said. It's going to be two teams fighting at the top and two teams fighting at the bottom. And the NFC North, any of those teams can win a division. I wouldn't be like shocked. Like you said, if the Vikings go 5-12, I'll be like, yeah, makes sense.
Right.
Bears go 12-5, makes sense. Lions go 12-5, makes sense.
I'll push back on the Bears. The Bears going 12-5 to me would be shocking.
The Bears. Sorry.
That defense.
All right.
That's way too much
time on
NFC
North. All right. AFC North. All right. So, Keem, this is your division. So, what I'm going to say is you're going last.
All right, let me go first.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you just...
Wait. And also for this one, you say what you got, and then we move on. Like, there's no commentary on your shit, because I already know Keem going to go along with it if we say some disrespectful shit about the Ravens. So,
dick.
Go ahead, KDot.
Dick.
Okay. I kind of blanked you out.
Suck dick.
I'm sorry, I was trying to pull up something.
Just say your picks.
Okay. I have the Bengals winning the division. I got the Ravens number 2. I've got the Steelers number 3. I got the Browns number 4. Just quickly, I'd say that the Bengals to me are all around the best team in that division. They have been for a while. The Ravens, we go in every year saying that they are going to be Super Bowl contenders if they stay healthy. And guess what they can't do? So I'm not putting money on the fact they will be, but if they are, look out. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin. And I think the Browns will suck. I don't have faith in Deshaun Watson. I think Nick Chubb is dope. Amari Cooper is Amari Cooper. And Myles Garrett and the defense could be fun to watch sometimes.
All right. So, Ryan, go ahead.
I have the Ravens winning the division. I have the Bengals having a slight regression year. Then I have the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Browns fighting for what could be the worst records in football.
Worst record in football.
I don't think Pickett's that good. And Deshaun Watson is a shell of the old Deshaun Watson. I'm just saying fighting for it. Like they could, like I think the Browns could get 5 wins, maybe 6, but they also could win 3. They're in a tough division. I think the Steelers and the Browns probably beat each other once. And they're just both like the Browns defense maybe can win them some games, but I don't think their offense is good enough. And the Steelers, like all they have is Mike Tomlin, right? Mike Tomlin is the only reason they can get above, like get their no losing season. So
it's a big fucking piece. If we're talking about being disrespectful to Arthur Smith earlier, you just said a Mike Tomlin team might be in the running.
It's not his fault that he doesn't have I look at the pieces of that team and they have TJ Watt, right? And they have a very average
Minka Fitzpatrick
and a quarterback who has historically tiny hands. And
Cam Hayward.
Right. And I'm saying maybe, but like I don't believe in their offense. I went to a Steelers game, was it last year? And it was the most boring shit I've ever seen because they could not do shit on offense.
All right.
It was awful. So
Najee
maybe
Harris is overrated. That's it.
Maybe their defense can carry them over the line, but I'm not going with that. I'm gonna go with the team, like the Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman. Like
Relax,
that's
King.
what I'm going with, and I'm going with the Bengals, who have the best all around squad. But I feel like they're the pendulum where they're winning games that maybe they should have lost. Is going to swing back up. I mean, but they'll still get 10, 11 wins. It's going to be a fun division to watch.
All right. So.
Oh, you're laughing until I'm right in 16.
I just think you're being mean to two teams.
Hey, guys, we said we were going to do this and then let Keem go.
I got 3 of these teams making the playoffs.
You didn't stop me. That's your job.
Shut the fuck up.
Damn it.
I'm stopping you now.
Thank you.
All right. Cool.
I just think that's mean. The language is unclear.
Shut the fuck up.
I have the Ravens finishing first. I got them going 13-4. I got the Steelers finishing second at 12-5.
Oh, you got a serious regression here. All right.
Then I have the Bengals third, but they're like 11-6, so they're still good too. So 3 teams in the playoffs, and then the Browns at 5-12 because the Browns are just ass. And Deshaun can't get massages, so like he can't play good anymore.
He can.
He can't get the ones he wants.
You know what my least favorite place on the planet is? Cleveland. Probably can get a massage there because it's trash.
No. But
yeah, I don't know what the happy endings in Cleveland look like right now.
Yeah.
Ain't happy.
So that's why he can't play good. I don't think Cleveland will be good at all, but I mean they got Amari Cooper, but and Chubb.
That's what Deshaun needs is Chubb.
Is Chubb not the best? Chubb is the best 3-down back in football, not named Derrick Henry, right?
Right.
3-down back?
Yeah.
No.
Like as far as sorry, instead of 3-down back, what do I say?
He can't be a 3-down back when they had Kareem Hunt taking all them shits earlier. This is his first year by himself.
Yeah, but do we think he can't?
Huh?
Do we think he can't?
I mean, did Cleveland think he could? They wouldn't have had Kareem Hunt.
I don't think it was that. I think they just like, why not have 2 great running backs if you don't have to?
No,
they weren't paying a lot for Kareem.
They got Kareem Hunt when he was when he was going through that shit. Right.
I remember he was throwing the cheap.
Yeah, and then guess what? After he left, where's Kareem Hunt now?
Nowhere. Anything.
All right, so they had somebody who was nowhere taking the 3rd down duties.
I'm just saying. I think Nick Chubb.
I thought we were just saying what we were going.
Is he the best?
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. Go ahead, Keem.
Okay. I think you all made some valid points, some wrong ones as well. But that happens with all of us. For my picks for the AFC North, I think James hit the nail on the head. I have the Ravens winning at 13-4. I have them winning that division in second, which is where I disagree with all of you. The Browns at 11-6. Their defense is extremely too good to fail. They added Zadarius Smith, a 10-sack guy, to go along with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, the problem with him that he has faced a lot of times is getting double teamed. That will no longer be a problem. That, I just promise you, that defensive line to go along with Denzel Ward on the back end, they're going to have a top 5 defense in football. You do not require much from Deshaun Watson at that point to be as successful. With the schedule that they have, they can get to 10 wins. And that's just how, but however, I'll speak to the offense. To me, in my opinion, Nick Chubb is the best running back in football. They have a good offensive line. Deshaun Watson can run the ball. Okay. So I'd also like to add some of the areas where they struggled last year throwing the ball. Deshaun needs to be in the shotgun, right? And because I study and research and read before I do these things and before I come to talk out of my ass. So one of the struggles that they ran into last year was they couldn't install that in practice, actually working on the shotgun, doing 5 wideouts, 4 wideouts, but you see them doing a lot in preseason, 11 personnel and things like that. So it's something that they were able to do because Deshaun needs to be in, I guess, more of a gun style, that kind of type of offense to be effective. And so they've installed that more over the offseason and in practice so far in training camp and preseason. So he'll be a lot more successful. I'm not saying he'll be a top 5 quarterback or anything, but I think he'll be top 12, top 13, which is all you really need at this point if your defense is that fucking good. And I think their defense will be that fucking good. The Bengals, I don't know if people remember, Joe Burrow has a calf injury. They're not even sure if he's going to play week 1. A calf injury can be nagging. It's it can fuck with him throughout the whole season. They have questions on the back end in terms of safety without Bates. They're hoping that Dax can kind of replace Bates. We'll see how that works. I don't know. And the way that the league is going now, safeties are becoming a little bit as important as cornerbacks these days because of the cover 2 and things like that. But I got them going 10-7. I think they still make the playoffs. I think they struggle a little bit early. Maybe Burrow misses a game or 2, or he's just kind of not. He has to adjust to playing with that calf. But they still make the playoffs. And with this being the best division in football, the Steelers finish at 9-8. Kenny Pickett is good. Pickens cannot separate from cornerbacks, but if you just throw the ball up there, he will catch it. They have a decent running game, a really good defense. I think TJ Watt missed games last year. They've improved on the offensive line. Their secondary is probably their bigger question for the Steelers, but they have Minka, who is arguably the best safety in football. And it's fucking Mike Tomlin. This is the best division in football.
My only question, which is why I was raising my hand, is, are the Browns still good if all you have to do is realistically stop the run and their defense is on the field for 35 minutes a game?
I think Deshaun will be good enough that won't be possible.
That was my turning point, was the defense is good, but if they're on the field for the majority of the game, because their game is run the ball and they don't get enough first downs because they can't get it through the air, what happens then?
So they added Elijah Moore and they have Njoku, right? So I think they have the weapons. So last year, I forget who was in the Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, was in the second wide receiver spot. That's not who you want. Elijah Moore is a guy who can hit those slants. He can separate. I think he's a great he'll be a great second wide receiver for them. So I think that'll change their passing attack a lot. That's my opinion.
That was my only concern, was their offense is run based, and if they get stopped, their defense is gonna be on the field a lot. I don't give a fuck. Myles Garrett is a massive man, but that man can still get very, 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 very tired if he has to stop an opposing offense for 37 minutes of the game. So
yeah, I think that's
just they play the Titans, they play the Colts, they play the Broncos, the Bears, the Texans. That's at least 5. We can run through those. That's 5. We can run through those defenses. I'm gonna give you 5 out of the potential 17 games. Then just win five more. Just win 5 more.
Oh, that's my advice for everybody. Just win another couple. Yeah, that's good. All right, moving on.
Like the only thing that I wrote down from that was Chubb is the best running back in football.
No, he's not.
I don't
wrong.
think that's crazy at all. But that's
saying that he's the he's great. Like, we're not saying that he's not great. I just don't think he's the best.
The only argument I wasn't willing to have was the Derrick Henry one. That's the only thing I'm not willing to. I just don't want to have the argument. But I think
CMC is better, to be honest.
That's why I was trying to say 3 down back. I was saying the dude that you can carry everything.
Chubb averages like 20 catches a year. Like,
but
that part is like
traditional running back.
Running that's like cool, but like
that's I feel some of that is more of the
way the game is
choose to throw it to Kareem more than they like. All right,
because
Kareem.
He's better than. But we'll see this year because Kareem's not there.
But can I ask you? So, from your perspective, do you think that to be the best running back in football, you have to be able to do both?
Yeah.
Okay, that's then we're talking about then. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You have to.
That's where I disagree. Because that's like saying to be the best player in the NBA, if I'm only good at attacking the basket, I can't be because I don't shoot threes as well. No, it's fine. It's just a difference in the team.
Oh, okay, you're good on offense, but you can't play defense. That's why I don't think Luka could be the best. He's great on offense, but he can't play defense for shit.
Was Steph ever the best player in the league?
Never.
Right. That's all. Hey, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
AFC North, I think that it looks identical to the way it did last year as far as the record, but I do think each of these teams have gotten a little better. That's the only thing. That's what I would say is overall as far as the AFC North.
So let's go to all right. So between KDot and Ryan, who wants to go first?
Don't care. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with my commander. So
yeah.
All right. So then we'll go the NFC East then.
Okay. And this is the best division of football.
You go last.
Okay.
Yep. So first I got the Eagles, then the Cowboys, then the Giants, then Washington. It's just based on how it played out. I could be 1,000% wrong.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Who knows? But all right, go ahead, Keem.
I got Cowboys winning the division. Micah. I'm expecting a big year from Micah. I think the offense will be much better. Swapping out Kellen Moore. I think them adding. I think that one of the underrated ads has been that Brandon Cooks ad. I don't think people are really realizing what that's going to do for Dak and that offense. I think getting rid of Zeke, another addition by subtraction, will absolutely benefit them. I love that. I don't love that offensive line needs to stay healthy. So they have some variance there
because they already lose somebody. Didn't they lose somebody in the preseason? Didn't they right?
Yeah. And so the offensive line needs to stay healthy. That's where they can struggle. The defense, I like. The Eagles, I'm expecting some drop off, but they're still so fucking good. They've improved in every fucking way. That defensive line is fucking amazing. I expect them to lose a few more games, maybe off of some injury luck. AJ Brown, who I love and have in Dynasty Fantasy, he's a guy that is usually very healthy. Is usually not as healthy. He usually misses 2 or 3 games. I think last year was the first year that he played all 17 games. So if he, kind of reverts back to that, maybe they lose a game or two due to, maybe him not playing. Giants last year was a fucking fluke. They won a lot of 1-score games. I love Brian DeBoer as a coach. I think he's a good coach though. But I think this is Daniel, let's not. Daniel, you're not the guy, Daniel, here.
Damn, Daniel.
Even though I like the adding Darren Waller, but Darren Waller hasn't been able to stay healthy, so I don't know if that'll be as good. I even like Jalen Hyatt. I like some of the things about them. I think the defense will get better. I just think that more so that 1-score luck is going to reverse for them. Washington, my notes for them at the 4-13 record that I have for them it says by run. He gets fired in November, maybe early December. And then maybe Bieniemy or somebody finishes the season. I think that offense is good. I love Dotson. Jahan Dotson's going to do wonders. Terry McLaurin's already fucking hurt. I hope he can stay healthy, but I can just see that offense being talented and good and doing well. I'm not sure what to expect from the quarterback, but we'll see. Kind of Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, kind of in the same spot for me. We'll see. but there's some talent around him, and they have an offensive coordinator, even though they apparently don't like how he talks to them. There's been a lot of complaints about that, apparently. And the defense, I don't know anything about it.
Chase Young might get traded to y'all.
I know, but I don't know.
I keep hearing about that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be open. I would be open to it. It's a typical EDC move. Get a guy who doesn't have a 5th-year option. If he works out, hey, pay him. If it doesn't, trade a 5th-round pick for him. You didn't give up much.
So, go ahead, Ryan.
All right. The Eagles may be the best team in football, just on paper. So I have them winning the division. And here's where we all differ. So this is probably gonna be the one that I fuck up. I have Washington.
I knew that was coming.
Second. I think they have the highest ceiling of all the teams. Healthy defense, one of the best defensive lines in football.
They do.
I have the Giants in third, and I have the Cowboys coming in last.
Wow. Okay.
I do not trust Dak Prescott. I think that he is due for a horrible season. And I could be wrong. And I think that the NFC East is not the same as it was last year. I think the Giants are going to be better. I think Washington's going to be better. I think the Eagles are going to be lights out. But I have all of them winning like 8 or 9 games. So it's the Eagles and then everybody else. So it's not, everything could get jumbled. But it's going to come down to like one or two games, and it's probably going to be in division. What pushes Dallas over the edge this year is from last year.
Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard being the primary back.
Cool.
I like Deuce Vaughn as a backup.
Yeah, those are great people. What pushes them from 9 wins to 12? I don't see it. I think the Giants, I think they're all 9-win teams. 8 or 9 wins.
How many games did they win last year? 10, 11?
10?
Something. But anyway, I just want to speak to your Dak point real quick. Dak's last year was his worst year, where he threw 23 touchdowns and 15 picks.
I've watched him in the preseason.
2,800 yards.
23 picks and 15 touchdowns this year. Gets benched for Trey Lance.
The years before that, 23 touchdowns, 4 picks his rookie year, 22-13, 22-8, 30-11, 9-4. He got hurt, 37-10, and then we got to 23-15.
But he also has an owner who loves to just poke him with the needle a little bit. Maybe he has a 3 fucking interception game. They put Trey Lance in. He throws for 250 yards and a half and 2 touchdowns. Then what?
Also, just want to point out, Dak has never finished with a losing record except for the year he got hurt. He only played 5 games.
I didn't say he was going to have a losing record. I said he gets 9 wins. That seems like a winning season to me.
That's fair.
I just don't know what bumps them from 9 to 12. Like, they have a decent defense. Their secondary is either elite
but they were at 12
500
last
yards. They had 12 last year.
That's what I'm saying. I think they just stay there.
No, I done it. Agree, and that's why I said I'll probably be wrong. But I think the one thing I know is true is the Eagles run away with that division. Dude, they have the best defensive and offensive lines in football. Maybe. And Jalen Hurts has grown leaps and bounds. They're gonna be real fun to watch. I'm going to the Eagles Bills at Philly, and I might die.
I was gonna say, be safe, be careful.
No, I'm going with a squad of Bills fans. So if I get stabbed, we're all getting stabbed. So
they don't stab in Philly that much.
I mean, they have to at the games because you can't bring a gun in.
They throw things. I've gotten a lot of things thrown at me.
I want to get stabbed. I want to get something thrown at me. That's embarrassing. Like a fucking
yellow Nissan Xterra. They broke.
Somebody's gonna throw a yellow Nissan Xterra.
I thought you was gonna say they threw a yellow Nissan at you. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy.
They threw D batteries through the back 2 windows of the Nissan Xterra that I was in because we were all Redskins fans. I've gotten into some shit up there.
Congratulations. All right, KDot.
I love this already.
Didn't go yet? Did you already go?
Me?
James? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I went first.
All right. I'm sorry. My bad.
I was trying to get the shit out the way so we can get to you.
Yeah. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning the division. The main thing about this is there has not been a repeat winner in the NFC East since 2004. It's been 20 years. We beat the shit out of each other. It's just the way it works. So this is the only reason I'm going off of that is like, yes, I get it. The Eagles to me are one of those teams that you look at and you're like, one of the biggest faults of most Super Bowl losing teams is they think they have enough going into the following season. And what did Philadelphia say? Fuck that. Tool out, motherfuckers. And they kept getting better. Like, the running backs thing, losing Miles Sanders, like what I look at offensively of what they do with the DeAndre Swift and what they have as far as some of the other guys they brought in. Well, I'm blanking on the names right now, but I know they got
Gainwell. I mean, Kip Gainwell was already there, but
yeah, Gainwell was already there. They have somebody. What was? Didn't they? They brought somebody over from.
Was it Penny? Was it Penny?
Rashad Penny.
Penny.
So like I look at them, I'm like, okay, and the league did this. The league should have banned that goddamn first down bullshit sneak, and they fucked up by not doing that. It's not okay. It's not football. It's fucking a rugby scrum. Pieces of shit. That's the Eagles should win the division, but the only reason I'm not putting
the Eagles have like an Australian or New Zealander.
They did. I don't know if they still do.
No, he's like one of the best offensive linemen.
Who gives a fuck him? I'm saying nice things about these teams I fucking hate. So
yeah,
fuck these guys.
I'm listening to it and I'm loving
but back to the Cowboys real quick because I think I got glossed over them because I didn't want to say too many nice things about them because fuck these guys. I think Tony Pollard will be considered from a statistical standpoint the best running back in football this year.
Boo! Sorry.
I think what they've been doing, what Kellen Moore was doing, and what they were doing by still feeding Zeke the rock was such a detriment to that offense. It's nuts. The Brandon Cooks pickup to me is great. Like I really do think it's great. I do think CeeDee Lamb is a little overrated, and be completely honest. But I think he's cool. I think he's one of the guys that everybody likes. Cool. It's like
when he does the thing. You know,
he's in the same category as like DK Metcalf for me, which is like these are guys that are they have the physical tools. They look amazing at times. But then if I look at the end of the season, Tyler Lockett looks better. Tyler Lockett looks potentially better. And it's the same thing in Dallas. Like in all those years. Amari Cooper looked better, and like there are moments where I actually look and I say that. So
who's the guy on the Saints that wore a grill during every game? Is that Kamara?
That might be
Kamara. Dude.
Yeah.
I need CeeDee Lamb to start doing that because that'll just take him over the edge of coolness.
CeeDee Lamb is fire. He is great.
All right.
He's got hands, but he's still got Dak thrown to him. So when Dak throws his 23 interceptions,
he runs nice routes too. They call him the baby Devontae Adams.
Who?
They called
hey,
Adams.
Hey, can we bring the Raiders into this conversation? Let's go.
I can't wait. No, just wait. I can't wait.
Right,
I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I cannot wait.
I think there's a gap. So you have those top two teams. We got a little bit of a gap. That's not to say that I don't think that the Washington or Giants won't beat the Cowboys and Eagles, if not multiple times, this fucking season, because I know we beat the fucking Eagles and the Cowboys last year. I got the Commanders number 3. I could flip it either way. I'm being completely honest between them and the Giants. I think that these are the two teams that are battling for a wild card spot at the end. If you tell me that Sam Howell ends up not being the guy, the Eric Bieniemy offense is not. They're still working on it because it's a brand new system, and the offense kind of flounders down the road. I buy it. If you tell me the defense is stellar, just the offense is getting, like, I understand it. Like I wouldn't say that that's an impossibility. What I will say is this team finished 8-8-1 last year, as 500 as you could possibly be with an odd number of fucking games. And I look at that offense and I'm saying, do I think Sam Howell's an upgrade over Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke? Yeah, I do. But then I also look at the growing pains of you only got a guy who's only played one game in the NFL, and it's a brand new offensive system. So I don't know what that means exactly when they take off. And our schedule this year compared to last year is harder. It's much harder. So, like, if you were to say that we finish at 9-8, or sorry, 9-8, I'd be like, okay, cool. 1 game improvement. I would say that if we won 1 more game with the schedule that we have right now, then this team is actually better. And it would be the offense just didn't catch up with the defense. And I understand that. And as far as the Giants overall, Saquon Barkley to me is in that conversation as far as one of the best running backs in all of football. The Darren Waller, if he can stay healthy, which is a huge question mark, then I think that they could be really, really fun on offense. And I am a Daniel Jones believer. I think he's mobile Flacco. He just hasn't had any playoff games yet.
All right. Now you're gonna argue. Go ahead.
No,
we're
moving on. We're moving on.
Keem wants to argue.
No, we're moving on. Keem just wanted to do
this.
this shit. Whatever the fuck that shit was.
I was just looking at the Commander schedule.
It's not fun. No, that Commander schedule is not okay.
Enjoy.
All right. So then
I won't. A lot of frustration.
Hey, first week, 1 win, first week, Cardinals.
Oh, if we lose this week, if we lose week 1, I'm gonna be fucking depressed. Like, no,
y'all got him at home. That's an automatic win.
You should go to that one.
But here's all right. So I'll say this is the last thing I'll say about the Commanders, though. I honestly don't give a fuck what we finish at. I've never not cared about a final record for a team that I root for more than this year. Dan Snyder's gone. That's the only thing I care about. It's a transition season. Like I don't give a fuck. If we go winless, we're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Okay. If maybe Drake, Drake may. I don't give a fuck. Like I really do not care. Honest to God,
Keem,
if we finish terribly this season, because that just means more higher draft capital for whoever the next head coach is going to be. But I'm rooting for us because I'm rooting for Eric Bieniemy, and I want to see Eric Bieniemy. I want it to be that Eric Bieniemy was getting shafted all these years in Kansas City, right? Like, I think that there is a vested interest that most people should have that the offense for Washington looks good, because that means Eric Bieniemy did a good fucking job. Like, that's what I'm hoping for.
I like it.
AFC East now. Ryan, you're going last. Okay.
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
All right. NFC East, similar to the NFC South, what KDot said, I think there's 2 teams fighting for the top and 2 teams kind of fighting for the bottom. And that being the 2 teams at the top being the Jets and the Bills. And so I think they'll both make the playoffs. I think that Jets defense is fucking sensational. Similar to what the Browns have with Deshaun. You don't need Aaron Rodgers to do too much, but you just need to be able to score. It's why they'll be good in the regular season and flounder out in the postseason. They're going to be a team that's going to hold you to about 20 points or less, and Aaron's good enough to get you 21. And so I think that's their recipe for success. They can run the ball. They'll be able to run the ball with Dalvin and with Brees kind of working his way back in. That receiving core will have some questions, though, because Corey Davis retired and Mecole just got hurt. So then I think it's Garrett Wilson, Randall Cobb, and Lazard, which that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But it's in terms of, we talk about Aaron in last year, it's kind of similar to what he had last year, except Garrett Wilson is kind of hopefully, and which I believe Garrett Wilson to be supremely talented. You're hoping that he can be what Devontae Adams was when he was there with the Packers. Because then you kind of get the difference. You'll get the difference. But I got the Jets going like 12-5, maybe 13-4. I think that defense will be amazing. But I could see them switching with the Bills. I had the Bills going 11-6, possibly 12-5. I think their running game will be better. Gabe Davis should be a lot better. Josh Allen won't be hurt. So I could see him, taking off, maybe winning an MVP award. I wouldn't be surprised if they killed it in that division. Those 2 teams will be fighting for 1 and 2. Pats, I got being better with Bill O'Brien as OC. 8-9 is good, but it's not enough. Mac isn't the guy. The Dolphins, I think the injuries are going to hurt them a lot. They are also a team that had a lot of 1-score wins, victories last year, including against my Ravens. And I think that kind of, they'll come back to earth a little bit with that. But I think they're a team that'll start off very slow and then come on late and hopefully be better for the next year, because they won't get Jalen back till December. And I don't know. I hope Tua can stay healthy. I don't know, but I hope Tua can stay healthy.
He
But
put on a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
like muscle. Yeah.
Muscle.
Yeah. He bulked up so that he doesn't get.
yeah. No, I saw it. They talked about that.
Yeah.
And he got that fucking travel tattoo. Watch out.
It does look nice. It was really
No,
nice.
it looks cool as fuck.
All right. And
I hope-
speaking of Tua, that's why I got the Dolphins winning the division. I got them.
Said nobody ever.
I know.
Speaking of Tua, that's why I got him in the division.
I know. I'm the first
Tua.
one. I'm Soldier Boy. I'm the first one. All right. So then I have the Jets. And then I have the Bills like one game under. It could easily
Playoff team, Bills playoff team. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not mad at it.
I have I didn't say nothing, Ryan. Don't. It could easily switch, remember? It was one game, bro. And then after that, I have the Patriots at 6-11. Yeah, it might be time for
They're gonna have a really good defense. That's it though.
I know. But
really good defense.
It's like Bill gotta switch all that shit up. Like once everybody get fired in Washington, go ahead and bring over Bieniemy and then get a new QB.
Well, I mean, they got Bill O'Brien, and I think he'll be better. But I don't think Bieniemy wants to work for Belichick, huh?
He will, of course, be better. They have somebody that can actually coach an offense.
Right.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. So they'll be better. I just think Mac is the problem, not
that's it.
I think Mac is the problem. I don't think
Micah?
Yes, sir.
I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to say Jets are number one. And the reason I got the Jets number one, once again, I have to then put my faith in Aaron. And that to me is like the defense is set. I got no qualms, no questions about the defense of the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. Offensively, I think Garrett Wilson is the fucking truth. Really do. Yeah. Outside of Garrett Wilson being the truth, the running game, what it is, it's going to be that split between Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Really interested to see what that is. But to me, it feels as though, like Keem kind of alluded to, that Packers thing. The Packers had Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon in the backfield. They didn't go to him enough. And I don't know what that does, what that means as far as the New York offense. I'm watching Hard Knocks every week. One of my favorite seasons of Hard Knocks of this season. And I'll tell you this. I don't really know anybody in that locker room that can tell Aaron Rodgers no. If he wants to check out of a play, if he wants
they are dick eating to the highest level. Highest level.
I don't think there's the only person that could kindly maybe say something to him is Randall Cobb. He still ain't pressing that motherfucker. So like I don't know. So like I'm putting Aaron, to me, the thing that's shining through is his relationship that I'm seeing that he has with Zach Wilson, which to me is like, all right, maybe something has changed a bit. And I know he loves Garrett Wilson.
Well, he had that relationship with Zach before. So yeah. They were cool before he ever got there.
And then there's also the Nathaniel Hackett piece. And we'll see how that goes. Because that's another dude that I don't know who says no to Aaron if he wants to drop back and throw the ball. And also, that offensive line for New York. I mean, they have some talent, but they also they're not always healthy, and they definitely have some questions. And if they're hitting Aaron back there, all bets are off. Once again, I think that defense is lit. But so Buffalo number 2. I want to put Buffalo number 1, but Buffalo's regressed every season. And I'm going to look at Buffalo and say overall, I just think I think Josh Allen to me needs to have a humbling year. I think he's still too much of a gunslinger aspect mentality to him. You
don't think it was last year, KDot, with that playoff loss?
No, because I think they lose in the wild card. So like I think that it has to go all the way back. And then I think that there's a retooling of them. Like I get the rumors that were coming out, like the Stephon Diggs that ended up being bullshit, even though that's kind of what he was saying in Minnesota before he ended up going. But just saying, there is an element of like things might not all be peachy keen in fucking Buffalo, and they still have not figured out the fucking running back position. I know James Cook has been popular in some fantasy leagues, but I don't know. The most exciting part to me of that Buffalo Bills team is Dalton Kincaid. I actually think that if he can actually can he be that receiving sort of outlet? a la Travis Kelce. I know it almost seems crazy to compare anybody to Travis Kelce, but if Josh Allen can have that Patrick Mahomes like outlet with a Stephon Diggs, kind of like he had his Tyreek Hill, that could be something special on offense. I'm just saying. I don't know yet. Outside of that, I have Miami third. And this is once again battle for the top, battle for the bottom. Only reason I'm having Miami there is I do think that they have talent, especially at the wide receiving core. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, as long as you get the ball in their hands, they can make things happen. And that to me equals some wins. You don't really need necessarily great quarterback play as much as if you just give them the chance. If they get targets and they get opportunities, they can turn nothing into something. So that to me counts for some. And that, like, as far as that receiving core, it's just awesome. The New England Patriots, I think that defense is definitely going to be there this year, but I think this is the year where we can finally say, Mac Jones, it's over. And Bailey Zappi, you're still also not a guy. I felt better about the New England Patriots until we got closer to the season. I thought that they had found their guy in Ramondre Stevenson. Now that Damian Harris left and they like that was going to be their lead back, but then the Ezekiel Elliott thing, and then they've been messing around with stuff as far as the depth chart. I know that as far as the New England Patriots, you look at their running back committees and they always have success, but I got a few question marks there, and I have not liked anything I've seen from Ezekiel Elliott in some years.
Fair point. All right.
I'd say two teams make it to the playoffs. Either the Patriots or the Dolphins are rest on the cusp. One of those teams is just on the cusp. Looking at.
Ryan, who you got?
I have the Bills winning the division. I don't think that's surprising to anybody. I do like that we host a significant amount of warm weather teams at home in cold weather conditions. Raiders, Miami, Dallas, Jacksonville, Tampa.
How cold is it in September?
Y'all play the Raiders September 17th. It ain't gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
what?
October games gonna be cold.
Like, hold on.
Also,
I was like,
they're coming from. Hey man, it could be 50 degrees. Y'all are coming from the desert, so
no. That was who before who had a terrible record in cold weather games. That was one stat that you gave me a long time ago.
And you're saying that the new insert in the vaunted Las Vegas Raiders.
Why are we talking about the Raiders?
Buffalo?
Yeah,
anyway,
no, it's Ryan.
Can we segue to the Raiders next?
Yes.
No.
He's saving that division for last.
Yep. I have the Dolphins coming in second. I think the Dolphins are going to be. They've had some injuries, but I think they're going to be better than we give them credit for. I think healthy Tua is dangerous. They have one of the most outrageous wide receiving cores in football. I think it's good. I mean, them and the Jets, I have them right there with each other. The Jets hinges entirely on if their defense can stay healthy and what drugs Aaron Rodgers has decided to do the week before. Aaron Rodgers is doing all the right things, taking the pay cut, bringing in Dalvin, he ingratiating himself to his team, but then I see him on Hard Knocks and I'm like, that looks like the old Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if they can do enough. If their defense stays healthy, I think the Jets can win the division, but it's hard to say that an Aaron Rodgers led team can do anything except for maybe a first round playoff exit. And then the Patriots are who we thought they were. They are bad. They're not a good team. They don't have the pieces, I don't think, to win more than 6 games. I've been wrong about Bill Belichick teams before. But I don't think this year is their year. So let's just go with the Bills win. I don't know, 12,
15.
Ryan, I just gotta ask you this question: do you look at what any of these teams' records were the previous season?
No, I just look at I look at what they're doing in the preseason, and I look at who is on their team. because year to year, some teams stay very much the same and some teams change a lot. And I'm not going to judge a team based off what they did last year. So
they're the same or change a lot. I'm with it. All right. We got
that's how
I know. I'm with
how
you.
it goes, man.
Hey, let's breeze through this NFC West. I got so much to say about NFC West, and I want to go right before James because I want him to respond to me. Let's go. With
dude, that's so unfair. We don't need an hour on the AFC West.
So, wait,
So it won't be an hour. I
somehow
just
we
have so much
started
to say about that division.
Yeah, but he's
on Raiders.
What do you think he's been writing? He's been writing
Somehow-
a Raiders manifesto before this fucking thing started. And
No.
then you're gonna have a bunch of stuff that he's got to then
Actually have
defend.
I don't have a lot about the Raiders. I have
cut
one
his
note.
hand and blooded it.
All right.
I have one note that might trigger James about the Raiders. Rest of my note,
Look.
he'll
All right.
agree with that.
All right,
NFC
cool.
West. NFC
All right,
West.
so
I'll go first.
NFC West. I got the 49ers.
Wait, why does
I'll
he
go
get
first.
to go first in his own division? We all had to wait.
And
No, he-
NFC West.
NFC West.
Okay,
I just
sorry.
said the 49ers. All right, so I
Sorry.
got the 49ers, I got the Seahawks, the Rams, and then the Cardinals. The
How many
Cardinals are
playoff
trying to
teams?
lose.
How many playoff teams?
Ooh, let me tell you. Give me a second. I have 2. The Seahawks are in the wild card,
Okay.
along with
I'll
the
go.
Commanders. I have the Commanders in the wild card.
Can you tell me who's going to lead the Seattle Seahawks to playoff berth this year?
MVP candidate. Geno Smith.
Do you see Pete Carroll throwing the football? Training camp.
Hey, he looked good though. He was liking that thing.
Old as shit.
No, the
he
fuck
looked
he
pretty
didn't.
good.
He was like,
He did not look good
He's the
look
old.
good.
He is the oldest coach in the NFL.
for
right?
his age.
For his
Yeah.
age, yeah.
Yeah, for his
man,
age, but
that's
he ain't
such a
look
mean
good.
thing to say to someone.
Bro,
Oh,
he
looks
was
so
slinging
good for
that
your
thing.
age.
I ain't know Pete had it in him.
Yeah, it's like the Kevin Hart racing Stephon Ridley. He looked
That
good
shit was
for his age.
hilarious.
Idiot.
Did you watch the video?
Oh yeah, it's great. He was holding up. Kevin gave him some go. Like
He was.
he gave
He was
him-
thinking with him.
Yeah, he was stuck with him. He stuck with him like a motherfucker. And I was like, all right, Kev. That's why you
He
thought you
tore
could-
all his shit trying to stick up with them. There was no
That's what
point.
happens.
Sit your old ass down.
But you see
That's
the
just like
moment
the
where it
Mike
happens.
Vick episode of Atlanta.
Oh God, that's still
Is
one of
that-
my favorite That's my favorite moments of TV history.
that- Is that the dog episode?
Bruh.
Piece of shit.
All right, go ahead.
Number
Man,
one,
I love Mike Vick.
winning the division, the only team to make the playoffs out of this division. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. While I would, if this was a normal episode, I'd be spending half an hour railing against Kyle Shanahan and the front office about what they did with the Trey Lance thing.
Oh,
Um,
you're just a Trey Lance truther.
No, it was just all right. Here's what I'll say. Kyle Shanahan is looked upon, and I think rightfully so to a certain degree, because if you look at what he gets for the talent that he has, or what projected talent compared to output, he's looked upon as one of the best young minds in all of football. He ain't won shit. And I think that we need to start holding his ass to it just a bit more. Because if you're being completely honest about it, he does a lot of what his dad did, bringing people that you didn't really expect out of nowhere to run for 1,500 yards a fucking season. That's more Gary Kubiak, Alex Gibbs, Mike Shanahan thing. I don't know anything that Kyle himself is doing that has been revolutionary, as much as, like I said, turning middling guys into something good. But that to me was the amount of bullshit that you have to think about yourself to think that Trey Lance was going to be the guy and then bail on it that quickly because Mr. Irrelevant ends up being the fucking guy. It's just fucking weird.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
You can. I mean, I appreciated Kyle when he was here, even in Washington. Like I really did. And I think the Shanahans are underrated as far as like a coaching family. I think they have great systems, but I don't think Kyle himself has been revolutionary. But
I don't think you have to be revolutionary to be good. He hasn't been revolutionary, but there are so many coaches that can't do what he does in terms of making mediocre or average players Pro Bowlers. Like in the right system, you turn a role player to a superstar. Shout out to Joe Budden. I don't want to take anything away from him. All I'm saying is that the same way that people hold heat for other guys for not winning is what the narrative needs to start being about Kyle. He's been floating. For sure. I just think that's the only piece. That's the only piece. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying any of that shit. It's kind of like the Kirby Smart thing before he won with Georgia. It's or it's Andy Reid before he ever won. They always would say, he could never win it. No. It was he would win,
it's close.
but never win it.
It's close, but four NFC championships in a row is
not enough.
no, I get it. It's not enough, but that was a fucking feat, man.
It's a feat. It's a feat. The 49ers have been to what? 2 Super Bowls with Shanahan?
1 Super Bowl, but is it 1 Super Bowl? But 2, but they've been to 2 NFC championship games. I'm saying it's Andy Light.
It is
Andy Light. Okay, you're not fine.
Andy's
fine.
been
That's
in the
fine.
league
That's
for
fine.
20 fucking years.
Yeah, but that was the knock against Andy. Look, it's Andy.
But that was the thing against Andy, like you said.
And that's the other thing. Andy Reid never.
How many does he have now?
What, Super Bowls?
Yeah,
2. The Andy
knock
Reid,
on that.
Here's the thing with Andy
You're gonna
Reid.
get like 2 more at least.
Look, Andy Reid just didn't become a good head coach. He's always been a great head coach.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of then he had Patrick Mahomes to go along the lines of what he has. Maybe Kyle just needs that guy.
Finest.
You know what you're not gonna do? You're not gonna get that guy where you trade all your fucking pieces for Trey Lance, you dumb shit. All right. San Francisco.
I thought we were gonna run through this division. What happened?
Dipshit.
All right, Mike, you
number
done?
2. No, I didn't even only said about San
God
Francisco.
damn it. Let's go.
All right, number 2, Seattle. Geno Smith does not have as good a year as he had last year.
Fuck you.
And then who I think these 2 teams are vying for the worst record in all of football. The LA Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. If you look at the amount of rookies the fucking LA are starting and how many, I think I've talked about it at ASOS, it's nuts. You know, I love Sean McVay and he has a Super Bowl, unlike Kyle Shanahan. And then as far as the Arizona Cardinals, what the fuck? Like, how many? They should be banned from having the number 1 overall pick. I just don't think it should be allowed anymore. Like, it's just fucked up. From the Josh Rosen shit to then the Kyler Murray shit to whatever they're gonna do to Caleb Murray. If you are going to go to Arizona, you need to hold out. You pull your fucking Eli Manning shit. Do not go.
Caleb from USC has already said he's not
already
committing.
Siege, right? Yeah.
He already not committed just because whoever has the first pick.
Do not go to Arizona.
Who else was in that Josh Rosen draft? Josh Allen.
Is Josh Allen if you just go to Arizona?
No, nobody. You go to Arizona, you dry out. It's so hot.
Why did I laugh
All
at
right,
that? That's
so all right, so KDot, you win.
Oh, but I will say this: LA, they
LA.
will win games with Stetson Bennett. I like Bennett.
Okay. Sound like Gruden. Who's next?
Niners,
I'll go.
Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Done.
Okay. Cool.
Geno
Okay.
Smith, MVP candidate.
Did you say Niners, Rams, Seahawks?
No,
Niners,
Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Go ahead.
Rams, Cardinals.
Go ahead, Keem.
For all
Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals. Stafford is healthy. Akers carries. Aaron Donald still plays football.
Wait, what?
49ers,
Cooper Kupp.
Purdy and crew. Love them. 7-10. Seahawks, Geno isn't bad. Defense isn't as good. Also not as many 1-score wins.
Oh,
Cardinals, Caleb time, baby.
Wait, you got the Rams winning the division?
That's starting to be
Yes.
a popular pick.
Yes. The Rams, I believe in Sean McVay.
I believe in a
NFC
thing
West.
called love.
NFC West since 2018. Rams, Niners, Seahawks. Rams, Niners. We'll see.
All right, AFC West, let's go.
Pendulum guy.
Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Niners, and then you go back to the Rams?
Well, I think they are. I think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. It'll be 49ers or Rams. Nobody else can win it. I don't think the Seahawks are going to surprise anybody this year. They're not going to play. They went 9-8. They're not playing Russell Wilson, so that's one game taken away. So I think that and just lose one more game, 7-10.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. AFC West, I'm going last. Who wants to go first? I think Keem, you said
Team
you're
wants to
going
go right
third.
before you.
So then
Ryan, you want
when
first?
we
I can go. I
Yeah,
can go if you want me to.
I have.
Yep.
Oh wait, you go. I go.
Up to you. Do you want to go or I can go?
I'll
Either.
be fast.
You
I
hang
got
up. You hang up. No, you hang up.
I got the Chiefs. Chiefs winning the division, but tight division. I have the Chargers coming in second, probably with like 1 or 2 less wins than the Chiefs. Then I have the vaunted Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I think Russ is gonna cook a little bit more than he did last year.
Yeah, agreed.
But I have them with the exact same amount of wins as the Raiders. I have it as a divisional losses as why the Raiders come in last. So
okay, what's the records?
I have 7 wins for the Raiders, 7 wins for the Broncos, 10 wins for the Chargers, and 12 wins for the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think this division is going to eat themselves alive.
KDot?
There are 2 teams and then there's gap. So there's the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. If one of the young guys that they had last year that I thought might have their breakout season now has the break. So like I thought Sky Moore might have a good season. I thought Kadarius Toney, once he finally got there, might have a good season.
Sky Moore has too many Y's in his name.
They kept Travis Kelce was just the guy, and then they just made things happen. But I do expect one of those other receivers to kind of take more of a foothold. I also love Isaiah Pacheco. As far as the running back goes, I thought he was great, and the combination of him and a Jerick McKinnon, I just think is something special in that team. Defense is still the Kansas City defense, but you're going to the show for Mahomes. Next up is the Chargers. I think everybody knows that if there's a second team that I would be a fan of in this league outside of my Commanders, it would absolutely be the Chargers. I think Joe Lombardi. I've always just been a Chargers fan. Like you go back to like I'm a huge Eric Coryell, Dan Fouts, Kellen Winslow Sr. fan.
Good job. Good fucking job.
And Junior Seau, LaDainian Tomlinson. I love those teams. The Chargers to me, Joe Lombardi, nice guy. He had the worst offensive scheme in football last year with the Chargers, in my opinion.
Second worst.
What are you saying, your boy in Baltimore?
No, wait.
I disagree because I think that at least here's the thing. At least what's your boy's name? What's his name?
Greg Roman.
Greg Roman at least designed something to make Lamar work at one point, and you give him credit for that. It reached its ceiling, right? Joe Lombardi didn't do shit except hold this team back. So Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they have guys. I still think Justin Herbert, outside of Patrick Mahomes, can make every throw better than anybody else in the league. My opinion. I don't think that he doesn't have the feet of Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have the strength of fucking Josh Allen. But if there was one guy in the league outside of Patrick Mahomes that I had to pick to make any throw to any receiver in any route tree or any situation, give me Herbert. I fucking adore it.
Over Rodgers?
Right now? Yeah, absolutely.
Over. Okay. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Over.
The only other 2 people that I think, the only person I think is honestly in the conversation is Burrow. And then there's a slight gap between then it's Burrow and then it's Allen Jackson, depending on how you look at it. But like I say, if there's any throw I need it to make, and then Trevor Lawrence is kind of ascending.
I was going to say, okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We have our gap. And then after the gap, because those 2 teams are going to be like leading shit. You're talking about like first and second seed in the AFC, are those top 2 teams. The other 2, I'm looking at around 500 for each of them. If you told me they finished maybe one game above 500 or one game below 500, I'm good either way. I'm going technically Raiders over the Broncos. The Raiders defense, Max Crosby's a fucking problem. And they got that, Tyree Wilson or whatever on the fucking other side. Like they got guys. I'm a huge Jimmy Garoppolo dude. I actually think Jimmy Garoppolo with Josh McDaniels could work. Because, I mean, they got guys. Josh Jacobs is he signed his tender. He's here. Devontae Adams is still Devontae Adams. He's no Justin Jefferson, but he's still Devontae Adams. I just think they have talent. Whether or not they're going to put it all together, I don't have a ton of faith in Josh McDaniels, but I do think he could get something out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think those guys will follow him. The Denver Broncos. I am not a Sean Payton believer. Although I do agree that he is an upgrade over Nathaniel Hackett. I am not in love with the offense of Denver at all. People are higher on Jerry Jeudy than I am, always have been.
He's
stay healthy, number one, and I'm not a huge Jerry Jeudy guy. Never have been. Defensively for them, they can be a problem, and I think that's what keeps them around that 500 mark. Is Patrick Surtain, arguably top 3?
Yes,
Some people say number 1. Cornerback in the league, I still got Sauce as number 1 to me, just like a little bit of flash.
Saucy.
That defense is going to be solid. I don't think Russ has any more. And it's rare at quarterback that you see a guy have it, lose it, and have it again. We like to root for them. We like to have hope that it happens. But once you fall off the cliff, it's really hard to get back. And it's the same thing I think about Deshaun Watson. I just haven't seen it.
Fair enough.
Okay. Keem, go ahead.
Oh, my turn. I'm so excited. I will piggyback off of something that KDot said that was incorrect, and I will correct it for him. He said there are 2 teams, and then there are 2 more teams. That is idiotic and stupid. There is one team, the Chiefs, and there are 3 below. And there's a huge gap, and then there's 3 other teams.
One guy.
The chart, it doesn't fucking matter. It's 2 guys. It's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And that's it. And that's all you fucking got to say. It's that, and
I can't deny that.
A huge gap.
It feels wrong. You're right. I will relent. He's right. Why am I doing that? Mahomes is always in a different tier. You can't put him in a tier with anybody else. He's right. No. I was wrong. Sorry. Apologize.
Okay. So I got the Chiefs winning division 13-4, 12-5, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. 11-6, whatever. They're winning division. I got them as the only team to come out of that division.
Okay.
There's variance here because I agree with KDot in terms of the Chargers and what they should be able to do. They have the talent. They have the receivers. They have the offensive line. They have the defense. Justin Herbert is 25-25 as a fucking starter. Stop annoying the nigga. He is not him. He is not
Where
him.
the fuck were you when I was arguing with all the Chargers fans?
I was working. But I wanted to help you. I wanted to say so much. He is not him. If KDot is gonna be the what you shown me guy, this is the team. This is the team. 25-25. He's not him. This is what when I said earlier, there's a coach that I wanted to compare to Dan Campbell. We love Brandon Staley. He gives these great interviews and it's so detailed and he breaks it down for us in a cute way and we just love it. The media, the fans, we eat it up. He hasn't done it. He hasn't put it together. Now, to be fair, this is where the variance lies. They were super injured, and they've been super injured. To another point that KDot wanted to make about my fucking Ravens, where they're always injured, except we usually, we still succeed somehow. The Chargers are always injured as well. The Chargers are always injured as well. So I think they have the talent. They have the I think Kellen Moore is a huge upgrade. Joe Lombardi was terrible, fucking terrible. He wouldn't, and they talked about this on the Athletic Football Show podcast where like the good offensive coordinators create plays that you can have counters to. Like, okay, so we'll do a run off of this, but we'll have a play action off of it. Joe Lombardi didn't have that. If they come into a set, he's either running one of 2 plays. It's either going to be this play or that play. And that's why he was easy. And so I agree. It should be the year. This should be Justin Herbert's MVP year. It should be. They can stay healthy. They got the running back. They got everything. It's Brandon Staley's firing year for me. That's the way I'm leaning. It should be the year the Chargers go 13-4. Herbert slings it, is killing it, and they make the playoffs and win a playoff game, whatever. This should be the year. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be the year. I think and also historically, the Chargers have always been this kind of team. So that's I'm going to stick with what I've seen and say 9-8, miss the playoffs, Brandon Staley gets fired. And then they figure it out maybe next year. And we keep talking about Justin Herbert for 10 years and like how he's got the tools, but he'll never be that guy. What my point with the Justin Herbert thing, when you said the guy that can make all the throws, that's cute. But Trevor Lawrence, I think, takes his position this year. I think this is Trevor's year to be like, oh, okay, yeah, he beat that nigga ass in the playoffs, and now he's going to be a consistent consistent regular season performer and a guy who will get in the playoffs and perform. Broncos 8-9. Sean Payton is good enough to get them to 8-9. I don't think they're a playoff team. They have a good defense. Russell Wilson will be back to doing play action and running the ball, and not like no more three-step drops for you, buddy. Like no more, none of that, buddy. You're not that guy. But they're still not good enough. But I think we'll see promise with Russell Wilson. They do have some injuries with Jerry Jeudy and stuff like that. The Raiders, 5-12.
Okay.
Their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is terrible. Their quarterback is less than mediocre. Devontae Adams trade should be incoming. That's what I have for them. I think they should. If they have their pick this year, I would lose every game possible. But they just ruined Caleb Williams. So I think I think you don't want Caleb Williams to go to a franchise like this. So they'll win enough games to where they'll be like third or fourth, and not first or second in the draft. That's where I am with that. So
fair.
I'm not triggered. It's cool.
I said I only have one thing, and I thought that'd be the Devontae Adams trade. That's all.
Oh no, I mean I've heard that before, so it is what it is. I don't think so either, because Devontae actually likes to be a Raider, but whatever. All right.
Clip that. Clip that. Hey, clip that. Hey, clip that. I'll say your face, KDot. Clip it. Clip it. Clip it.
Clip it.
Clip it.
But guess what? You can clip the show all you want, but you're not going back to it. Even especially if I'm right, like you ain't gonna go back to it. Like so.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, if you're right.
I will revisit and apologize.
No, the fuck y'all won't. Nobody will, and it's cool because it's the same shit for all this. Nobody apologized last year to some shit we got wrong. Like, I think.
Clip it.
What were the Cardinals last year? Because I remember I apologized to the Cardinals because they started winning early, but then they lost a lot.
I think
they are who you thought they were.
The only time I go back is to prove that I was right on things. That's the only reason I go back.
All right, so I'm gonna go through my shit quick. Chiefs 1, Raiders 2. Then I got the Broncos and then the Chargers. Now, here's the thing. KDot, relax. What you said about the Chargers having Kellen Moore come over, like, to actually throw the ball, like, consistently with better route trees and all that shit. Cool, I get you, right? Herbert averages like 17 yards rushing a game. He doesn't really move well, like, from what I've seen. He moves well in the pocket, but there's not going to be really a pocket because when you look at the teams in the AFC West, the defenses, they all have pass rushers. With the Chiefs, I'm not sure because Chris Jones is still holding out, correct?
So
if he's gone, that's a big ass problem. Like, I get it. Like when I was like the year before, I apologize again, Mahomes. Like to you and you only, fuck the Chiefs, but to you, cool, my bad. When Tyreek Hill was gone, I was like, all right, they're gonna regress like shit. If Chris Jones is gone, he would like it's like, all right, man, like y'all can really win with just 3 people. Like that's crazy. So I'm still hating a little bit, but whatever. But when it comes to the Chargers, right? They can't run the ball and they can't stop the run. Do we all agree there?
No.
So they haven't been able to run the ball the way they wanted to in the past, and that speaks to what me and KDot were speaking to with the Joe Lombardi issue. I think that is corrected with Kellen Moore coming in.
All right, and if it's not,
I mean, you heard what I said. 9-8 either way.
Right.
9-8. They got no 9-8.
All right.
9-8.
I disagree.
Look.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's my premise, right? If they still can't run the ball, they damn sure still can't stop the run. They haven't fixed shit for that. Like that, none of that happened. So if they can't, if they're trying to just sit there and throw the ball the whole time and all that other shit, right? It's like, cool, better route and trees, whatever. Their defense is going to be on the field longer. And when their defense plays long, they get injured when they're not on the field for that long. So they're going to be on the field for longer and you expect them not to get injured, they're going to get hurt. It's going to happen. And then guess what? Now Herbert's like a sitting duck back there. He's going to get popped a few times. It is what it is. I just don't see the Chargers doing anything. When it comes to Denver, Russell Wilson's going to have a bounce back year, right? Sean Payton's there. Like I looked at the difference between when Drew Brees went to New Orleans with Sean Payton, like his last year with the Chargers compared to his first year with the Saints. And I saw similarities between like what Russ did last year, his to when I guess like when Sean Payton gets there with Denver, like I think he's going to throw for 3,500, 4,000 yards this year.
So to your point, James, that's one of the beat writers said that they said think Drew Brees from 2006 to 2012, not the Drew Brees we got later. So I agree with you.
Yeah. And then when it comes to what was talking about like with Denver, Jerry Jeudy, like he's nice.
Fire.
He's injured.
When healthy. Fire when healthy.
Yeah, but like even when like the receiver position is QB dependent. No, more than just QB dependent. Offensive line dependent, running back dependent, other receivers dependent, play calling dependent, all that shit, right? Jerry Jeudy was killing. It's just that, yeah, Drew Lock throwing the ball, right? And then like a shell of Russell Wilson.
Drew Lock is elite on the bench.
No.
Hey, he looked good. He's been looking good.
No. He's not elite on the bench because his best moment in the NFL is him rapping Young Jeezy lyrics. And
yes,
I hate
that is elite.
No.
Hey, I was saying, hey, you know I love me some Jeezy. So.
Yo,
Guess what? What happened to him right after?
He grew up playing football. He's hanging out with mostly.
We're not talking about
people.
All right. So then outside of that, Denver has a great defense. Like they've always had a great defense the past few years. Like PS2 is him. He's him. Like you can't deny it. So then outside of that, with us, I'm just hoping everything goes right. If it don't, it'll be the same shit. What Keem said, 5-12. But I don't understand why you say you wouldn't want Caleb there.
Well, it's more so a franchise thing. You know, it's like I don't want him to get room. It's only because you guys don't have pieces in like. It would be like when the Texans got David Carr and he was getting chased. Like if you guys had a better offensive line, I'd be more comfortable with it. Because Raiders is a historical franchise. I'm cool with it.
Hold on. But in terms of the offensive line, that's the part where I was confused. So the offensive line is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Like that's the part I was like, huh?
Y'all did make some improvement. Didn't y'all sign Ben? Were y'all the ones that signed Ben Powers from us? No, I can't remember. No, that was somebody else. But anyway.
But then you also had like Mr. Carr back there, right? Who after he broke his leg, anytime like something get close, like he'll go down. Like he creates some sacks too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think I want you guys to have a top 12 offensive line before you get your superstar rookie quarterback.
But if we had a top 12 offensive line,
exactly.
Ain't no way in hell we're gonna have the number one pick.
I agree. I agree.
But so it's like you can't have like it's more so like all right, let's have an okay offensive line and trade whatever the fuck we need to get up to one.
My thing would be yes. All right, let's just say you guys got the first pick, right? Say you got the first pick.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do everything in your power to immediately add more. Devontae Adams trade needs to happen immediately. Give me a first, second, whatever, whoever.
That makes no sense. No.
It does make sense because he's 32. He'll be 32 with your rookie quarterback. No, the aging is it happens to everybody. He'll fall off a cliff. So and you need to put.
It doesn't happen to everybody. Now
it doesn't happen to everybody. He could. But I think you'll see this season that his numbers won't be good. But that'll be because Jimmy Garoppolo can't throw deep.
But need to in this offense.
Okay. We'll see. I mean, ideally, yes, but if I'm going to stack the box against Josh Jacobs, and because he gonna get stuffed now and make Jimmy throw deep, because the thing with Carr was he could throw deep. I'm gonna stack the box and I'm gonna play up tight because I know Jimmy can't throw deep. So how are you going to beat me?
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
But okay.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, Hunter Renfrow's still there. Jacoby Myers is there. Meyer, the tight end out of Notre Dame.
That's my favorite guy.
Yeah,
he's a guy. He's a guy.
He can block and catch.
He can.
So
I like him a lot.
I'm like, you know what? Look, at the end of the day, we just gotta wait for it to play out. Like,
think about Jacoby though.
You could be right.
Funny thing about Jacoby, he's best in the slot. Who else is best in the slot?
Hunter Renfrow.
Both of them can't play the slot.
Yeah, but it's Josh McDaniels doing what he always wanted to do, which is have nothing but slot receivers.
That is what he wants. That is absolutely what he wants.
Jacoby can play on the outside. Jacoby could play on the outside, and then you also had the fact that Hunter Renfrow had issues with concussions last year.
I think Hunter Renfrow is going to be good this year because I have him in Dynasty. I agree. I don't think he's a bad guy.
That's the only reason why you think he's going to be good.
No. It's just I said Devontae Adams' numbers are going to drop. I'm not saying they'll be bad. I'm just saying Devontae Adams' numbers are going to drop. They're going to fall off because Jimmy can't throw it deep.
Right.
He don't have to throw it deep. All right.
Oh my God.
No, but no, he might not have to. Adams' numbers are going to drop is my only point. Because of that.
I don't know. And I'm not going to agree to that. But outside of that, right? Defensively. What?
No, sorry. I'm thinking out loud.
Okay, cool. Outside of that.
No, you know what? Fuck it. How could you not agree with that? Devontae Adams' majority of how he eats is that he's not Tyreek Hill. He's not taking slants to the house. Like that's
not also running fucking fade routes every time. It's my turn.
Not saying he isn't.
Just let me do this, and then you can respond.
How long?
Outside of that defense, I know I'm trying to get the show over with. Outside of it, defensively, we added Marcus Peters.
Good move.
I'm excited about that. He should have been a Raider like 5-10 years ago because he is.
He was a perfect Raven.
Yeah, he was. He was like no denying. We got the safety from Philly, who was the guy who had the most money in the incentive pool. So that means he outplayed his contract massively. So hopefully he can do better than the people that we had there before. Then you got Nate Hobbs there again. Jacorian Bennett, the corner from Maryland, has been playing really well. He's going to be a starter. I'm excited to see him. I was talking with his mom on Twitter because I said that if one of the Raiders beat writers said that Jacorian Bennett is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year or some shit like that, right? And I was like, if he does, then I will buy you his authentic jersey and ship it to you. And then his mom tweeted, you better have your money ready. And I was like, okay. I'm rooting for it too. But okay. Linebacker is shaky. Like, I'm hoping you guys give us Queen. To be
I would love to. Send a third my way. Send a third rounder my way, my brother.
Hey, and here's another 7th. Come on. Like, we need something. We need something.
Listen, just give me a third. I'm good. A third, I'm good.
And then defensive line, like
push them to 6 wins.
Yeah, the way Keem sees it. Defensive line, we got two great, we have one great edge rusher, and then another one who was great.
Inconsistent.
And yeah, massively. But then he slimmed down so much. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't seen him, but they made a joke on the podcast talking about how John Jones has been in more fights than he has. But like in the trenches.
No, he looks like John Jones right now. Like,
that's crazy.
And I'm like, how are you gonna play DN? But apparently he still has his power, which is crazy. I just want to see it. And then
I believe it because I mean, just with the way their bodies are.
But the way, like, you remember Javon Curse, like the freak?
Yeah.
He's like a different version, just smaller. Like, that's how he looks right now.
I love Javon Curse.
Me too. And then Tyree Wilson, obviously still raw. I haven't watched the game from last night when he actually played, but I saw the one clip you posted.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's great you got in the backfield, but actually get to the quarterback now. Like, so it's like levels.
He's a year or two away, but he's a guy that's going to be something. He'll probably flash some.
Yeah. So, and then like it'll be easier for him because there's some packages where he'll be the D line with Crosby and Jones.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does. But yeah, running back room, still happy with it. Receiver room, happy with it. Offensive line, it's not the best, but they're decent. Like they're legitimately decent. And I know people don't have faith in Josh McDaniels. I get it. I understand. Like, no issue. But he's the coach of my team right now. So it's like, the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I got to deal with it. So I'm a hope for the best. Might not happen, but I'm a hope for it. Based on what I hear from people talking, it's different than before. From the older regimes and like the people that were there. But I'm hopeful. But if it goes to shit, I hope it goes to shit so that we can get Caleb.
Fair enough.
Go ahead, KDot. Your response, sir.
I just said please no. I don't want Caleb Williams going to you guys. That's it.
Oh no. Why?
Okay, real quick to everybody. What team do you want Caleb to go to? James, we know your answer.
And I know KDot's answer.
Yeah, of course the Commanders. But I mean outside of my own team.
If that's the question.
If it's not your own team, go.
The Jets.
No.
Broncos.
That would be a close second for me.
That would be the worst shit ever. I gotta deal with Caleb, Herbert, and Mahomes.
I think that would make that division so much fun to watch.
And a five.
Not for me.
No, of course not. That makes it better for the podcast.
If we get Drake May though, if we get Drake May, maybe. Like I was like, all right, we have a shot.
Another if they're not going to be as bad to get to here, but I'd love to see a Caleb was like a Minnesota Vikings uniform. Like
that was my third. They're one of my teams. Yes, I agree.
Like you have a Justin Jefferson and a Jordan Addison to throw to, and we know he has a history with Addison and playing indoors. Mustache? And I think it could be really interesting. So, like, if there was, but they're not, Minnesota's not going to finish anywhere close.
All right, we're getting off topic though, because we got. Let me run through these right quick.
No.
Who do you have winning MVP?
Josh Allen.
Okay. KDot.
He's gonna say Lamar Jackson. Let's roll.
I have Lamar. I have Lamar too.
I didn't have him before. I've never picked him before. I think this will be his year.
Yeah. I picked him last year.
13-4. They're going 13-4. He's gonna win MVP.
This will be his year.
I was gonna pick Lamar. I just can't.
Yeah, you can just pick what's in your.
I'm not going back to back.
I want you to fucking pick him. Pick somebody else.
I'm not Lamar Jackson like by doing the 76ers. I'm going to choose something else. I'm going Justin Jefferson. I think they're going to throw like a motherfucker up in Minnesota.
Didn't you pick them to not make the playoffs?
It doesn't matter. I still think that they're going to throw like crazy.
But guess what? If they got Addison on the side. All right. Comeback player of the year.
Hedging.
It doesn't matter. Like if the motherfucker finishes with 2,200 yards receiving.
He won't though, because he has Addison on the side. All right, so comeback player of the year.
Hold on, what'd you just say? What are you laughing at?
He's like, they're gonna miss the playoffs, but he's gonna be MVP. That's crazy.
If he finishes with 2,200 yards receiving and over 20 touchdowns, and they don't make the playoffs, is he not still MVP?
No.
You don't think so?
You gotta win.
So that'd be offensive player of the year, just not MVP?
No.
So he'd be offensive player of the year, just not MVP.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
He should have won MVP last year, if you asking me, but that's
comeback player of the year. Who y'all got?
Did you say who you have for MVP, James?
Yeah, I said Lamar.
Okay.
Lamar should. It's all coming up. Lamar just gonna stay fucking healthy.
He will.
I feel like if I pick Lamar for MVP, he gets hurt.
That's why I didn't want you to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but
I'm rooting for Lamar this year. Hardcore.
In your heart, you got Lamar. All right, cool.
This city's so much better, and there's so much less violence. If the Ravens are good,
well, it's gonna be clean streets this year. All right, comeback player of the year.
Hamlin.
DeMar Hamlin.
Hamlin. You got Hamlin.
It's written.
I got John Michie the third or the second.
Okay. Did he die on a field? No.
Hamlin's not gonna play.
I like that pick, my brother. I'm gonna go with Bosa, Joey Bosa.
That's. Hold on, what the Chargers? Do you have their? Yeah, okay, never mind.
9-8, but good defense. But he gonna go crazy. Crazy.
Then we got head coach of the year. All right, I'll go first. I have Kyle Shanahan just because I have the Niners going 16-1 for some fucking reason.
Doug Peterson.
I'm gonna stay in that division and go with the better coach in it, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay gonna be in Cancun in his mind by week 9.
We're gonna see, man. Man.
Now, 2 last topics.
How did Ryan give? Did he give his coach?
Yeah, he's coach.
Nick Sirianni.
Sirianni? Okay.
Doug Peterson.
Are we doing defensive player of the year?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, it's gonna be Micah. Yeah, I'm going Micah.
Crosby. All right. So now
you know who's my second pick though? If not this year, next year, Kyle Hamilton.
I'm with you.
All right.
I'm
Now
with
this last thing. I told you guys about this before.
Justin Jefferson, offensive player of the year.
I hope you have one. If not, I got like 2 here that we can substitute for one of y'all. So season-long parlays, right?
Mhm.
This year, I put up 2 random parlays for like season stats and stuff that I think could hit. So the first one, I have Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Jared Jeudy, and these I posted like a few months ago, or a month or 2 ago. OBJ and Olave all with 10+ touchdowns this year, and that's plus 435,767.
You won't hit that.
There's a reason for that.
I think I
You
will.
won't.
I think I will.
I don't think you'll hit that.
All right.
I think Olave hit. You said it's
Olave, OBJ.
Olave hits. OBJ doesn't.
I think he does.
He doesn't hit. Zay is the.
He gonna have no.
Zay.
Look, but here's the thing: who do I have at MVP? He's gonna put up numbers.
No, I agree, but it's gonna be Zay, Bateman, Andrews. I think I got Odell at 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's where I got with him. But you could be right. It could be 800 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's gonna have a game with 3 touchdowns.
Okay, it's not a bad pick. It's not a bad. I like Odell's the only one that I haven't questioned with that because it was just 10 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, just 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So then, and then outside of that, there's another one. It's a 4-leg. It's Keenan Allen, Jared Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, and Pittman. Pittman's the one that I'm like, shit.
What happened? What is it? What did they do?
This one is plus 1,200 yards.
To do what?
Oh yeah, Pittman might fuck you on the yards.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Pittman might fuck you on the yards.
Jerry Jeudy is not going to start the season healthy. He's not going to be playing.
I know.
I
know he's not.
My parlay.
He's gonna play.
My parlay, I'm going to piggyback off of yours because I have a 4-leg with 1250 over 1250 in receiving yards.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Olave, Calvin Ridley, AJ Brown, Mark Andrews is my.
I don't know about Andrew just because all the weapons that he got.
Greg Roman did not have an offense designed to get the ball down the field enough, and Mark Andrews can catch the fucking ball. And if they have him running true fucking routes with those other guys, I think we haven't seen the ceiling. That's the only thing I'm saying with Mark Andrews. I don't think we've seen the ceiling as far as receiving ability because I do think he's second to Kelsey.
I think he'll get 1,000, but not 1,250.
I'm going 1250 because I don't think Odell's going to be healthy the whole season. I
think he will.
I think they're gonna manage. I think he'll get game managed.
That's
I
probably.
think he'll be game managed. And that's why. I think the Ravens will have 2 1,000-yard receivers, Andrews and Zay Flowers. That's it. The other 2 are injury prone and hurt.
I also think J.K. Dobbins has a fuck ton of receiving yards.
I agree, 600 plus.
I like that.
I mean, I got Lamar throwing for 4,000 yards, but
you're gonna have to throw to somebody.
I know, and one of them people's OBJ. All right, so me and KDot gave ours. Ryan and Keem, do y'all have any that you
have
placed
one.
already?
It's 8 touchdowns in the season. I have Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, and Deebo Samuel.
Facts.
I don't have one.
One question I'm worried about is Deebo. He's gonna have a lot of. He's gonna have.
It is to score 8 touchdowns.
Okay.
Score
yeah. 1,000%. Okay.
What were the odds on that?
Like plus 32,000. I put $100 on it.
Gonna probably do that momentarily.
Yep.
I like that. I
might throw me a little something on that one.
And you know what, Ryan? Ryan, send me a screenshot of that one so I can post it.
I don't want people fucking up the odds for everybody else.
You already got yours.
You already did it. The fuck?
And I also have it. I have it 3 times at different, like 100, 200, and 300, just in case we get real close, so I could cash one out to cover the rest of them.
Well, I had a bunch of other ones that I know just aren't going to cash out anymore.
Let's get to the end of this.
The Rams with the worst record in the NFL.
Nope.
The Rams with under 6.5 wins. I don't know if I trust those anymore.
That's funny. Somebody has them winning their division. So
and I had Justin Herbert as MVP on that.
Well, I had the Broncos going 12-5 last year, so hey, I'm liable to be wrong. Got to be wrong about something.
Right. So, all right, last thing, the fantasy football podcast.
No.
Now the date might change. No, not the. No.
You said podcast.
The draft.
Our podcast, Fantasy Football League. I'm talking about the Fantasy Football League for the pod.
Okay. I get what you said.
I worded it all.
I know it's all.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was horrendous. Cool. It was
Appreciate
bad. All right. So the draft day may change because I was told that if we have it the day before, sometimes like
do it on the 5th.
The 5th. All right. I'll think about it. But there was sometimes where the league would start on week 2, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's dumb. Don't do that.
Maybe it's because like somebody did it on like the Friday. Because the first game
You can do the Tuesday. I'm just saying that like I won't be there.
We have it on Wednesday. We currently have it set for Wednesday.
Wednesday is fine. I've done Wednesday.
There's nothing wrong. Like I think Wednesday should be fine.
Okay, so I'll just keep it the way it is. But the only thing was if Yahoo does something weird, saying like your league starts week 2, then I got to move it. But
also, this needs to be the last year we use Yahoo.
Yeah.
Why?
What are we Sleeper? Oh, Sleeper's better. Sleeper's the best, but Yahoo's second.
Let's move the Sleeper.
Never did Sleeper before.
Sleeper's it's fire. We could draft we could be draft like for a week straight.
Also, we're gonna do a super flex next year.
No, the fuck we aren't.
We should do a super flex.
No, we're not.
Make it fucking crazy. We got people that draft Justin Tucker in the second round I might lose to. Just make it fucking balls to the wall.
No.
Let's go nuts.
No.
We already got 14 teams. It's fucked from the get-go.
Yeah, next year we're not having 14 teams, but KDot's trying to ruin this league because he feels terrible about being in it.
Defensive players.
After last year. No, shut up. All right, so do you guys have final thoughts? If not, I will go right now because this one pissed me off. The president of the Spain soccer federation, that piece of shit. Yeah, like fuck, that shit makes me so angry. The Spain women won the World Cup, and in the award ceremony, when they were giving out the awards, the president just took the one of the best players' faces and just kissed her right in the mouth, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, he's been suspended by FIFA. His pay has been docked.
Did you see for 90 days? For 90 days,
Spain has said that he can no longer be a part of the team, and he's going to go to jail for assault. So
he should go to jail. But did you see the press conference he did?
No, why would I watch that? Oh, I didn't even watch the Women's World Cup after the US was out. Why would I watch some press conference?
I watch it all. All right, so yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm not leaving. Like I did nothing wrong. She asked for it. Like when we went up there, she was like, a little bit, and he's like, yeah, sure. Like, no. And then the player came out with a statement. It's like, I ain't saying none of that shit. He's just lying. And then Spain had this whole issue with the head coach of the team where players were boycotting. Some of the best players didn't go to the World Cup and they still won because the coach was like, he's just not a great human being. I'll say it like that. And then there's a gif of him grabbing like his assistant coach's boobs. Like during the game. It's like, yo, this guy's a piece of shit. And then he's sitting in the crowd just like applauding him, the president saying he's not leaving. I'm like, man, fuck all of y'all. All right. That was my final thought. I had to say it because that shit pissed me off all week.
I'm gonna have two real quick. Number one, Steven Strasburg. Called it a career. And I just gotta thank him for everything he did here in Washington. Like it was he just signed the worst contract. His re-sign was the worst contract maybe in all baseball history, but I still got to give him credit where credit's due. Being a kid that didn't grow up with baseball, having baseball come to the city, he was the dude that turned it into something. He was the phenom throwing at 100 miles a fucking hour, and we don't have a World Series if it's not for him and what it is that he was able to do here for us. So thank you for everything, Strauss. It was fucking awesome. Number two, I've been watching a fuck ton of movies. I want to say I have my top 10 list of 2023 as far as my favorite movies, but I want to give my honorable mentions. I'm just going to run through the list. Okay. Honorable mentions as far as movies from 2023: Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Creed 3, Missing, Air, Dungeons and Dragons, and Megan. Really liked Megan. As far as the top 10 for 2023 so far, Number 10, John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
Number 9, Barbie. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 7, Rye Lane. So people, please watch Rye Lane if you haven't seen Rye Lane. Number 6, They Clone Tyrone. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Number 4, Talk to Me. Number 3, Beau is Afraid. Number 2, Across the Spider-Verse. And number 1, Oppenheimer.
Okay.
The Clone Tyrone kind of disappointed me because it started out as a Groundhog's Day kind of thing.
The Groundhog Day concept is one of the best ones ever.
Yeah, and that's
Enter
what
Tomorrow,
I
10 out of 10.
That's what I thought.
Happy Death Day, fucking 9 out of 10.
Also, Groundhog's Day, 10 out of 10. So
Agree, but I'm saying I will never get tired of that.
Yeah, but that's what I thought it was, and then it wasn't, and it was still a really good movie. But like the first 20 minutes had me really excited. I disagree with a lot of your lists, but that's okay because I'm hungry and
you think Andor sucks.
Shit,
cook you,
dude? Yeah, because it does. How's Andor season 2 going, or whatever?
How's anything going, dipshit? All right, Dune 2 officially fucking pushback.
Rap Andor. That's the anyway. Love you guys. Bye.
Oh, fuck you.
Wait, did nobody else said their final thought?
Nobody wants to get the fuck out of here.
So hungry. It's been
what time
hours.
is it? I haven't even seen what the clock is.
1 o'clock.
It's
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have so much to do.
It'll be an hour and 45 minutes. We're gonna get out of here.
And then I said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna break this into 3 parts." No, it's just gonna be one.
Yeah, that requires work. I ain't trying to do it. All right, bye, people.